All right, so welcome to the first episode of the Fresche Perspective. I have here good friend, my first guest, Wayne Schneider, head of PCNY, and we're here have a little conversation today. And with all that's going on in the world right now, all the negative bullshit out there, politics, this and that, I think we all need a little positive energy. So I brought a man on who does a lot of positive. I've seen him my firsthand, been a part of it, had the pleasure of being there by his side for much of it in the last few years. Wayne is a very, very over the top giving philanthropist, as well as a car connoisseur and all a businessman, among other things. So I want to get into a little bit. Wayne, welcome to the Fresh Perspective. Thank you for being my first guest. Appreciate you coming on.
I'm honored, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, I just want to say on the intro you just gave me now, just listening and sitting here, you brought me here for a reason because I must have something interesting about me. And what it is, we're talking about positivity and what you just said about me, about this being this philanthropist and really hearing someone else say, yeah, I know what I do. I know I'm out there making it happen and making these amazing situations to help people. But hearing it from someone and interesting you enough to bring me here it really hit me to the core just now. Like really hearing it, I'm being genuine right now. Really, wow, I'm here because I'm a philanthropist and I'm doing enough philanthropy work that is really recognized and noticed and cared about, and it's amazing because I don't think about it when I'm doing it. Obviously, I'm just happy putting this together. It seems like it's fun.
But no, what you do is fucking amazing, man. And I'm one of those people who I get people that roses what I can smell it. I'm not, my ego is not too big to tell anybody, yo, what you're doing is dope. Matter if it's the fucking sneakers on your feet or something you're doing like a charity drive. If I think what you're doing is dope, I'm going to tell you because that's what it's about, man. And you opened my eyes to charity in a way that I never saw it before. I'll tell a quick story, kind of how me and Wayne met and how it impacted me directly. So those of you who don't know, Wayne has a concierge service. He does, I mean, fucking anything. If you want to just talk about getting it done, if you need pretty much anything, you call Wayne. No matter what city or state you are in the country, even out of the country, that's his job, is making shit happen, and he does that. And cars are obviously his specialty. So his concierge service has, high end rentals and livery and all that stuff in it. And then he has this big wing of the company that does philanthropy work. He has a charity, and I was introduced to him first because every Wednesday night, Wayne runs a homeless food drive in Manhattan. And when you hear charity, when you hear food drive, you think soup kitchen. I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm an asshole, but I always just pictured like a dirty, dingy, like you do it because, you volunteer, you get out of the way as if it's a community service type of deal. And I mean, maybe I'm an asshole.
Yeah, you're not. I agree with you.
But that's kind of like that is kind of the spin, that is kind of the way that everybody perceives charity for the most part. And I feel like what you've accomplished mostly is making charity cool, which is not easy to do. And what he does on those Wednesday nights is not only is he feeding, 100, 200, God knows how many people every Wednesday night lining up down the block on 34th Street, which unfortunately for the last few months we've had to put the kibbutz on.
Definitely put the kibbutz on it for now.
But it's amazing to see that he brings out, it's not just like people doing things for community service for their school, the graduate. It's grown ass men with successful businesses rolling up in every car you'd want to fucking see. I mean, we're talking, you go up there and it's a line full of homeless people and a line full of exotics, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, Rolls Royces. And it just changed the way that I look at it. I think it did for a lot of people as well. It made it fucking cool. And then the car rallies, which we'll get to, is a whole nother level of insane. But yeah, man, what you do with the charity work is I don't know anybody who does it like that. So for me, it was groundbreaking when I saw it, and it inspired me to get into the charity game because I always, in the back of my head, said one day when I'm 50 years old and rich, I'll give back. But watching you and guys like me actually just do it now and take the bull by the horns, I was like, well, I could do something like that. And last year, because of you and the people you put me in touch with, we did, I think, four schools in the Bronx.
Coats.
Yeah, the coat drives.
Killing it.
Yeah, which was amazing. And that was one of the best experiences of my life. And that was all because of, not only was it the person who introduced me, shout out to Bibi and Miss Rivera, who actually texted me today, and I will get back to you. We will try to do it again this year. But it was because of you. And that's what made me obviously gravitate towards you as a friend. Obviously, you're cool. Obviously, I love the cars and shit, but someone who does that is just a different level in my book.
I was actually re-inspired by you when I saw how hard you were going. With the coats in the schools, like you was going nonstop. Oh, Wayne, you were calling Wayne. This is fucked up. I'm trying to get these coats from Old Navy, and they're not doing me no favor. And I'm telling this for charity. I'm like, Johnny, you're gonna run into a lot of these companies. They're gonna give you tell you no, or they've already done charity, and just get used to that and just do what you gotta do. And then you're like, fuck, I bought 100 coats anyway over there. I went to another place, bought another 100. And you show me the pictures, and I'm just watching like, wow, I just triggered this guy. I'm so happy to see this because you're in the schools. I remember I came to the school that day. They had the event, the whole 9 yards. I couldn't stay the whole time. I wanted to, but unfortunately I had something to do and I had to leave. But I was blown away because it was like, you remind me of myself. You took the bull by the horn of something, the average guy wouldn't do in that area, especially where that school was. That school was in a real bad area, like right down the block where that kid got killed.
Real rough neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah. And you were there and you were making it happen. And I swear that, the teachers and all the people, the staff were appreciating everything. And I swear I'm watching and I see myself in you and what you're doing. And I just, it's like, wow, this is what's up. So
it's cool. It's something that, I've done a lot of things in my life that were fun and short time rewarding and gratifying. But seeing a 8-year-old kid that lives in a homeless shelter when they're not in school run up to you crying, grabbing your leg, kissing you, hugging you, telling you thank you so much, and like just the pure joy they have.
Crazy.
There's no car, there's no clothes, there's no
nothing.
club night, there's nothing that can compare to that. And even if you do nice things for people they live a kind of life that they're not even if they are the most appreciative person, you can't possibly appreciate something the way a shelter kid does. So let's dive into that a little bit because I'm super curious. I know you briefly touched on the story once before, but I kind of want to throw more details. How did you get into the charity to begin with?
I'm gonna tell you from the beginning, the whole story that I repeat over and over again. I even called one of there was four reasons I'm here, and I called the lady the other day. She was one of them to thank her randomly. We were driving to New Orleans the other day, midway. I just
drove to New Orleans from New York?
No, I was driving from Houston to New Orleans off a charity ride we just did with the Sean Watson down in Houston. And I decided to pick up the phone just to call the lady, just to give her, hey, just want you to know all this charity stuff you see me doing. I want to remind you, every time I tell a story, you're in it. You're one of the triggers. So
what's her name?
Her name is Joanne.
Joanne? Shout out Joanne.
Joanne Del Preti. Joanne Del Preti.
Is she no IG, Joanne? Or?
She has an IG. She's Joanne Del Preti. I'm not sure.
We'll plug it in the link afterwards for the video because she deserves some praise for sure.
She does. So let me get to the story. So 2012, I meet this guy named Darnell. I don't know if you ever met him before. He's got the Urus, got the red F8, whatever. He works out. You might have met him, you might not. Anyway, we met doing the rental car stuff together. He had a whole bunch of rentals. I would help him out move them. And he used to always tell me, yo, Wayne, fuck these rental cars. I don't even care about them. I'm like, oh, what do you want? What's up? He's like, I just do this, but I just want to help out. I want to give back. I want to serve 100,000 people food in a year. I'm like, all right, that's cool. And he would always say it. I want to give 1,000 kids book bags. He would just always say it. I'm like, why does this guy say this shit when all I see him doing is want to stunt and whatever in these cars? So he hustles, done construction and whatever. But he would always say it. 2015 comes around. I have my first New York rally. It was a local rally, Queens, upstate, whatever. This lady, Joanne, never showed up to my rally. She comes to every single rally of mine. Never showed up. So I called her after the rally. She drove a Lamborghini. So, she's a car person. I call her. She's older. She's not our age. Not my age. She's probably in her 50s, I'd say. I say, hey, Joanne, I'm a little upset. We were friends. We do business together. You didn't come to my rally. She goes, Wayne, I don't do any event unless there's a charity attached to it. I'm like, okay. And I'm not an event guy. I don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't get mad at her. And I was upset, the fact, hey, we're friends. Why would you not, support my event? I see you at all these other car rallies. So I said, okay, it makes sense. So that was in June of 15. Right after the first rally, excuse me, that's bad. Anyway, right after the first rally, everybody said, oh, we had so much fun. It was so lit. It was so dope. When's the next rally? I'm like, you know what? We're going to do a charity rally to buy book bags. That's what we'll do. August comes around. I put this dope-ass book bag drive together, pool party, this, that. It's a blast, super fun. We end up getting, I think we raised enough money for 1,000 book bags with supplies. Went out with that guy Darnell, who was so happy to be part of it because he's always wanted to do this. So he's, oh man, it's made me so happy to be part of this. I'm so excited. I'm like, yeah, bro, you inspired me to do this. To be honest with you, the book bag thing, I thought about you. I said, all right, let's try to raise money to get these book bags. So we rolled out with a bunch of cars, different bad neighborhoods on a Sunday, and started giving the book bags out. It was dope. We gave them out. The kids took pictures with the cars. After that event was over, I'm getting to a point. Don't get bored, Johnny.
Not at all.
Okay, good.
I'm locked in.
This is real. After that event was over, everybody said, oh, when's the next rally, Wayne? When's the next rally? I'm like, 'cause, you know, you've been on my rallies, you know, I put the whole thing together. It's fun. It's all put together. It's a good time. Yeah.
Next level.
Next level. Thank you. I mean, even though you came late to the one we went down south, you missed like 3 states, but
yeah,
it's all right. Don't worry. See you Saturday. This Saturday is rally. Anyway, you're not signed up.
I'm not gonna be here.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Good excuse. It's the only excuse to have. Anyway, so they're like, "Oh, what's the next rally?" I'm like, "Damn, it's already school season. I'll put a rally together in November. We'll do turkeys." Of course, I've heard of turkey, all types of turkey charities. You know, obviously, I know that's a big thing for Thanksgiving. So I put the whole event together. We're able to raise enough money to get 600 turkeys.
How much does that cost? 600 turkeys.
600 turkeys. They were like $14 each. So at 10 grand or something. I don't know. That range, some around. So that was our first time doing it. 600 turkeys.
8,400.
Yeah, in that range. I had 30 cars I made for the rally. That was it. Went to Philly for Philly cheesesteaks.
But even that, right? So people don't understand what this looks like. And I grown up as a kid who always loved cars, and you idolize things like Fast and the Furious. And when you see the videos and the movies of 5-6 cars on the highway tearing it up and all these hooked up cars.
Tell them hashtag PCNY Turkey Drive. See the stuff.
So go to his Instagram, Jesse, if you can, please.
And hashtag PCNY Turkey Drive.
So when you think about that in the movies, you're like, this would never happen. And when you go on these drives, these rallies that he does, it honestly makes Fast and the Furious or any car movie look corny, because we're talking about 100 cars mobbing out like that. And whenever I'm in the middle of that pack, I'm always just picturing like 16-year-old me or 13-year-old me, or even me now. If I was sitting there on the side of the road and saw this drive by, I would think that I was seeing things. Like,
oh my God, when we were a kid, we never see stuff like that.
It can't be happening before. No. Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
30 turkeys.
So 600. We had 30 cars our first rally. Never forget. We rolled out to Philly, got Philly cheesesteaks, and drove back. That was the whole rally. It was cool. It was the OG rally. And
you didn't stay there at all this time.
No, we just in and out.
This was rookie year.
Rookie year, in and out. So then the next week we had enough money to buy 600 turkeys. I don't even remember where we got them from. Completely forgot. And we started in Yonkers. We went to a school where we hooked up with like the people that run the school. Hey, bring the families out. We have whatever amount of turkeys for you here. Plus, we had a bunch of other foundations come pick up the turkeys. Then we went from one school to another block. I don't remember where it was. I think it was with Styles. I think actually the first turkey drive was with Styles. We ended up with Styles Pete's Juice Bar, Juice for Life in Yonkers. Mm-hmm. They had a line around the corner for people. Styles Pete. The Ghost, definitely a great one. Like for real, like a straight shooter, like the real deal. Like no BS with that guy. That guy keeps it.
I got to meet him on your last drive, and he was cool as hell.
Keeps it 100 all the way. We'll get him out here for a podcast. I got you. He's down with that.
Great.
I'd love to. Especially with all this health stuff. That's his thing. Good people.
Does he do bottled juices?
Bottled juices? I don't know, but bottled, bro. He has the juice bar.
I know, but like to sell in other places.
We got to talk to him. Yeah, he's all about making money, and he's all about health. So 600 turkeys. So we're getting Yonkers, then we go to a spot in the Bronx. I remember it was Grand Concourse. It was crazy. People going nuts for these turkeys. My boy donated bread, so we had like a bunch of bread that year. People going nuts.
Bread,
like literal bread. And it was crazy. It was cool. People handed the turkeys out. So finally, that video right there, we're on 117th Street and Pleasant Avenue.
The one on the bottom left with the McLaren?
Top left, above the Pagani, where that lady is.
Top left with the lady, Jesse?
The top left with the lady next to the Traxler video.
Let me watch this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. God bless you.
God bless. Take care. I didn't mean to cry, but I went like, no.
Who's this lady?
So we just gave her a turkey amongst another like 100 people at that point. And I'm standing next to Ed. I'm sure you know Ed. Mm-hmm. And she's walking by us. So like we're like away from the whole truck and everything. And she's walking by us and she's crying. And I'm like, damn, like, and I wasn't even recording. Someone else was recording. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, what's up? But somebody saying, no, you don't understand. I didn't think I was gonna have a turkey on my table this year. I prayed for this. A turkey on her table, and she's not homeless, obviously.
No.
That's genuine crying right there. That's not for a camera. Like she's bugging the fuck out. Yeah.
That's one of those things that until you experience it, you just don't understand.
And then Ed, let me give you a little money. She didn't want it. So she had a full
genuine soul. Turn the money down to it.
Different kind of person. Yeah. That's why I knew this was crazy. So this right here, this was a part of my life-changing moment right here in charity. This actual moment is bringing a tear to my eye. This sparked the fire. I said, oh man, PCNY, it's great that it makes money with the car service and whatever else I was doing at the time. I can't use that only for this. I have to turn this into helping people. It got so crazy when I went in there right after that. So after that, I said I gotta do something else. And people say, "Oh, another rally. Let's do kids for the
Toys for
tots." I said, "Listen, everybody's doing toys for tots. Nothing wrong with that. I gotta do something else. I don't want to do more rallies. It's the winter, and I don't have time to start hitting people up. Hey man, can you sponsor? I don't want to keep bothering my friends." Jose made a joke one day. He's like, "Damn, every time they hang out, Wayne costs like $5,000. It's crazy." And I felt that, and it's not right. So I said, you know what? I want to get downtown and I want to feed some homeless people one at a time. That's my goal. I'm gonna go get a dope.
Jesus, who's cutting onions in here? Who's cutting onions?
Yeah, nobody. I'm gonna get a dope meal from a dope restaurant and pull up on one person, and that's what I did in December. And
You drove around with a tray of food till you found someone that needed it.
I'll never forget. I drove around. I was eating this restaurant called Ricardo's, my friend's restaurant, amazing restaurant in Spanish Harlem, and I ordered a steak. And pasta, and I left with it. And my boy, it's funny, I was with my boy Dom. He had this Rolls Royce, and we're driving around with the steak and pasta, looking for a homeless guy to give it to in a Rolls Royce. It's almost out of a movie. It just randomly happened, and I found a guy. It's definitely on my page. You'll have to see the video. It's 100% on my PCNY on the Streets page. It's the first time I ever fed someone in PCNY on the Streets. Found the guy. He's laying down. "Hey, bro, I got a nice meal for you." He really didn't want to get up. Gave it to him like, "Hey, how you like it?" "Oh, it's good." And I'm like, "Well, you really like it?" "Yeah, I like it." I stood with him a few minutes, then went home. Next day, came back out again. I said, I got to find someone. Bought a pizza. Walking around the city looking for people. It's freezing at this time. Find some people in the train stations. They don't even want to unzip their book and their sleeping bags. It's so cold. They don't want to let the cold air in.
Yeah.
And I'm like hearing these things. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I can't believe the stuff I'm hearing. Then, I'm walking around different areas. Here's pizza. And all of a sudden, I did a few days with the pizza, walking around the city.
Every night,
5 days straight, all over the place, freezing cold. I start getting DMs. And I'm putting up your guys anytime you have a chance. When you're at a restaurant, grab a meal, hook something up. And I start getting DMs. I get this one guy. This is where the inspiration just was like, all right, this is crazy. This one guy DMs me, "Hey Wayne, I'm Steve. If you want, come to my restaurant in Tribeca. I have 15 trays of food for you."
Wow.
I got goosebumps.
Wow.
This is a restaurant in Tribeca, a Greek restaurant, fly shit, like crazy sick restaurant. Shout out to Talasa. Great people, great heart. He says, "Yeah." I said, 15 trays. He's like, "Yeah, come down." I go down there. I'm like, wow, this is, I don't even know what to say. I said,
And what the fuck do I do with 15 trays?
Yeah, what do I do with 15 trays? And then it wasn't even just that. The feeling of getting this 15 trays, the fact that he saw me, kind of like what you were said about me earlier, he saw what I was doing and he wanted to be part of it. It was a better feeling than any deal at that moment that I've ever made of like getting a check. Oh man, this was successful. That's it. It was this feeling that was like weird that came from my body. I'm like, this is fucking crazy.
It's like a new high.
A new high.
Yeah.
It was a high I never had before. And I've done a lot of things that make you feel good. It was a high I never had before. So that was one thing with him. Then all of a sudden, some random 21-year-old kid DMs me, Asian kid. "Hey man, I love what you do. I want to send you a PayPal." I'm like, "Oh, here's my PayPal. I appreciate it." Random 21-year-old Asian kid from Sacramento. I don't know who he is. I get it. I hit him back. I said, "Bro, you know you sent me the wrong money." He's like, "No, I didn't." I said, "Yeah, you sent me $1,500. I'm sure you want to send $150. 21 years old. He's like, "No, I sent you $1,500.
Wow.
I love what you do." I said, "What?" By the way, 6 months later, he was on my rally. He's a little Chinese kid, does all this computer shit. David Chow, great kid.
That's what's up.
And it just continued, and I was doing so much of the stuff every day, 5 days a week. Then it started getting expensive. Now I got a line. I'm going to buy, I don't know, it was like chicken I forgot the name of the place. I was buying chicken and pasta, and it was like $200-300 every day.
You're still mobile at this point.
Well, at this point, I already kind of zoomed in on outside. I wasn't 34th. I was on 33rd Street, right outside the Garden. That's where it started. 'Cause all the people were coming out of.
They all hang out there.
And it's cold out, so they was all coming out. We pull up. Open up the truck, boom, and then next thing you know, people hit me. "Hey Wayne, I want to pull up. I have a chicken spot. Can I bring chicken? Can I do this? Can I do that?" And it just turned into what you.
That vibe is infectious, man. And you really, like you said, you can't duplicate that feeling. Just giving to somebody that you know can't do anything in return for you. That is true. You know what I mean? That's true selflessness. That feeling, and then watching it
and doing it. That my heart said I had to do it. It wasn't even like I'm doing it because I want to make it like a scene for IG. I did it because my heart said I had to do it. Even my wife, I'd be like, at 9 o'clock, we're in bed. "Hey babe, I gotta go." She's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "You know where I'm going." It got to a point. It got so crazy. I'm not gonna say the guy's name. My whole page was nothing but homeless people. Like that's it. He goes, bro, are you fucking crazy? You're ruining your whole brand. I'm like, I don't really give a fuck. It's not ruining my brand. This is what I want to do. He's like, bro, and we were doing some business together. He's like, bro, you're making this shit look bad, bro. I'm like, well, this is my page. He's like, bro, start another page, bro. Don't put these fucking homeless people on that page. It's making everything. I said, bro, you know what? I know I can't fuck with you because you on a whole nother page. If I'm telling you I want to help, like I want to help, like don't worry, I will make another page just because that does make sense. But I'm gonna put them on this page, and it just went crazy. It was just so much shit that I've done down there, and there's two people, the first two homeless people I met, Red and Charmaine. They look like the Night of the Living Dead when I met them. They've been homeless for 10 years. That moment, real homeless, like sleep on a cardboard outside of a store every day, say real deal on the street. 4 years later, these people are smiling. They're happy. I mean, they look like Night of the Living Dead. Like literally, they were dead people just walking the streets. From the 4 years of being down there with them, it changed their lives. Just having this interaction with these humans that were genuine, and other people would randomly see them in the street that came to PCNY in the street, or any other homeless. Hey, what's up, guys? We got something for you. We see just randomly during the day. You guys are working. Oh, we know you from the PCNY in the street.
That little Insta fame.
Yeah, Insta fame, but and getting help.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best possible use for Insta fame, I guess.
Yeah, and it was amazing. I mean, we've had celebrities pull
so
up.
It's 5 years now.
Well, 4 years. This January was 4 years. We had the carnival. Were you at the carnival?
I was.
You were. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was okay.
Lit.
So those of you who don't know, what can we probably pull this up right now?
Definitely pull that up. You got to get to the PCNY in the Streets page, though.
Go to PCNY in the Streets on a search. So
that was nuts.
To set this up, I don't even know how to set this up. Basically, one night. So this happens every Wednesday. This charity goes on, and everyone knows that's the spot. Everyone pulls up. We have a good time, help people, and shoot the shit. I guess it was Christmas time, right?
Yeah, it was January.
It was January.
I planned this whole thing. I said, you know what? It's an anniversary, and it was a party for the homeless and for the volunteers because they deserve it for coming out every fucking Wednesday. No matter the weather, no matter how far you driving in, cold. Yeah, it's freezing. Woo. And it's at night. Ain't nothing motherfucking do. The wind's blowing. It was a party for everybody celebrating. Mittens. Thank you so much for being part of this whole thing. And here, keep going down. Go down.
So one night he decides, I don't know what sparked this idea, but he was going to throw a carnival. Going to throw a carnival in the middle of Manhattan. And I think originally it was for 34th Street, right?
Right.
But I think the cops got wind of that and shut it down.
They seen this way. They seen this right here. Go to the left. They seen one more to the left. This flyer. Click that flyer. They seen this flyer. They were like, so the cops got
wind of the flyer. So he was going to have a fucking Ferris wheel and a carnival going on. And they showed up waiting. They're like, no, not here. But luckily, NYPD was cool enough that night to say, you know what, we won't bother you to go down the block. So we took a smaller street a few blocks away. And I mean, he had a fucking mini Ferris wheel, a dunk tank. He had DJ. We had
DJ Camilo spinning on the tunnel block outside for the homeless. That's epic.
Churro machines and
everything.
Fucking 6-foot clowns on stilts walking around.
Hey, click the video. Click that off, please. Right.
Yeah, Jesse,
sorry, Jesse, Brian.
Yeah, click that video right there.
Wait, go up. No, not that one. That's just in the street. Go up a little bit. Go up. Go with the hat right there. Go down a little bit. Something where my hat is on.
To the right.
Yeah, that should be a decent one. That was just wild. It was just like.
I mean, we're talking about a legit, I don't even know, 200-300. It was a lot of people that night.
It was packed. Yeah. The amount of food, the amount of clothes.
It was DJ Camilo.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like so much fun. It really was just.
Shut the whole block down. There were amusement rides.
And the cops came through and didn't even care. They were like, we just literally took over 27. I mean, this is Manhattan.
Yeah. Shut a whole street down with no permit.
Crazy.
Is that Bibby?
And again, we did it. Movie.
How's he doing?
I actually ran into him not too long ago. Not doing great, but
I mean,
okay, I try to help the guy out.
How long we been out of commission now?
We've been out March, right? Yeah, it just got too crazy.
It's rough. It's 7 months now, but just COVID pandemic.
And now down there, it's bad. It's dangerous. You can't just go down there. And we have a few guys that still go and help out, but to bring the normal volunteers with the girls and this and that, you can't do it because it's downright dangerous.
It gets a little dicey some nights. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, it definitely gets dicey.
Sometimes the crowd you're dealing with, some of them are dealing with substance abuse problems, and that is where most of the problems come from. You have most of the people are very receptive, very kind, they're appreciative, And then like anything in the life, you have a big enough crowd, you can have a few assholes in there. So sometimes people come drunk and they start problems. But I mean, for the most part, it's nice people that need a handout, and you have equally as nice people willing to take time out of their day, money out of their pocket, show up in the freezing fucking cold.
Crazy.
I mean, I brought my mother down there. I brought my girl down there. I mean, I actually met my girl there.
It's crazy.
So funniest story that I'll tell, real quick personal story. I was at a point at that time where I was down. I was down on myself. Like anybody else, I had just a shitty stretch going on. And I talked to a few people who I really look up to, one being my Aunt Tracy. And she's like, when you're feeling like that, it's important to go out and do something for somebody else. So I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? It was a Wednesday afternoon. I'm sitting there in the living room of my house. And I was like, I might give stuff away. And I'm a little, over the top at most things that I do. So my sneakers and my clothes are pouring out of my closet. And what the fuck do I really need that for, right? So I decided in my head that day, I'm like, I'm giving away half my shit today. I'm going to my closet, I'm taking half the clothes that I own. I don't care how much you like it or your OCD saying one day you're going to wear that. You're going to have to give half your shit away tonight. So I filled my goddamn car with as much clothes as I could fit in it. The whole trunk was filled up, back seat, front seat. I'm talking about 1,000 articles of clothes, probably like 8, I don't even know, maybe 10 garbage bags filled with shit. A lot of it still had tags on it. Brand new, nice stuff. Hugo Boss stuff, Nike stuff, all whatever. And my plan was, honestly, that night it was cold and my head wasn't in it. I was just going to drop the clothes off and bounce. Most times I stay. Some people come there for the photo op. I won't name names. But I'm actually there and I fucking serve food because I feel like otherwise, what am I doing it for? If you're not doing it for the people there, you're doing it for yourself or somebody else. So
to be honest, not to cut you off, it got so crazy with the amount of volunteers there. It kind of sucked for me being there because I couldn't do anything. People would fight to serve. No, I'm serving. I want to help out. And I'm like, damn, as much as like I'm happy to put this whole thing together, the whole point was I actually like doing stuff.
Yeah, but you get the most credits because you organize the whole event. So
but even still, I like to.
I want to.
Yeah, I want to. I want to help. I want to serve. So sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So I showed up there with the 10 garbage bags full of clothes. And like I said, every intention of just leaving. It was freezing out. I wanted to get the fuck out. I wanted to get the fuck home. I was in Manhattan. I live an hour away from Manhattan. So I wanted to get back. As I'm pulling up to double park real quick to hop out, say what's up to a couple people, drop it off. I spot out of the corner of my eye this little tan blonde girl, and I was like, all right, maybe I'll hang out a little bit longer and just see what's up over here. And from that, I ended up meeting my girl now of over a year, all because of that night.
Crazy.
Like, exchange information that night, and went on a couple date a week later, and we're still together now a year later. So I actually owe my relationship to the charity and to PCNY. So I appreciate that.
And you know what's dope about that? And I saw that. It says a lot about the person you're meeting. You met her there. She had the same reason. I mean, you came there because you were upset and you were told to, but you wanted to be there.
Yeah.
And
she was serving food.
She was serving food.
So we honestly, sometimes I get embarrassed to tell our meetup story because it's so good. It sounds fake or almost like, you know what I mean?
Some crazy New York City bullshit, you know.
Yeah,
that's some shit off of, what's that show with the girl, the girls, all the girls on the show with Mr. Big, what the hell is it?
Oh, Sex in the City.
That's some Sex in the City shit right there.
Yeah, it's just almost corny. It's so good. So like we'll be on a double date and they'll be like, oh, we met on Tinder or whatever, and like, how'd you guys meet? And then we're like almost embarrassed to tell them like because it's such a good story that it's almost corny, but it was real. It was legit, and and whenever I do say that to somebody who I care about, their opinion of her automatically goes through the roof too because like, you met her where at a homeless food drive? Oh fuck! No, it's like. So that was something that came out of this, and I feel like the more good you put out into the world, the more positive you put out, the more you get back. You always get more. Some say tenfold. My father's big into saying that, like whatever you put out in the universe, positive comes back tenfold. And if you're there for the right reasons and really going out and donating and doing that stuff, I believe it. It's just positive energy.
Yeah.
And when you tie it in with the cars, it makes it fucking
dope. Yeah, it makes it super. Listen. People, so many people used to pull up because they'll see the Lambos. What's going on here? Is a club? Nah, we just being the homeless. Like, shut up. What's going on? I'm like, nah, we feeding the homeless because it looks wild. And then it's on Wednesdays because guys knew they're running around the city. Oh, let's pull up on PCNY on the streets. It's a good,
it's
a good vibe.
It's like 10 o'clock, right?
10 o'clock.
Yeah, so I mean, you can be there and then go out for the night afterwards, or
whatever. It's a great vibe. We had a concert in the street once. It was crazy.
And it was that truck that was there that same night?
Yeah, that was that night. The guy
was like a bar in there.
Virginia. He drove from Virginia with that.
Unbelievable. People see that they gravitate towards. They want to be part of it because not only is it doing good, but it looks cool. If you can manage to do both,
right?
I mean, everybody wants to be a part of that. Who doesn't want to be with a line full of exotics doing something nice?
Right. Like, you can't even believe it.
Nah, yeah. It's
And a lot of
something,
people say, why the exotics gotta be there? You're probably like throwing that in homeless people say, actually, the homeless people love it.
love that
Because
shit.
they actually know these are actually normal people, and it's good for them to see these guys own these cars that, hey, they aren't pieces of shit.
And it grabs attention, which is
Right.
the right kind of attention. You're not doing it saying, "Oh, look at me." It's, "Hey, look at this." And then once you have their attention, this is what we're doing. How can you help? So like we did that one. So the charity drive that I ended up doing, the coat drives, we had someone come and film it, and I had someone come at me saying, "Oh, you do that,
Oh my
for
God.
yourself. You film it. You only give." And it's like, you don't understand. This video is going to get sent to Old Navy corporate, and I'm going to shove it in their face that they're 2.6 miles away from their flag store in the Bronx. There's a school full of homeless kids who have no jackets. How you a multi-billion-dollar corporation and feel okay with that? So we're doing that to raise awareness for the situation and then bring it in. Believe me, I wouldn't be sitting here taking out Old Navy credit cards and spending my own money to do this if it was about me. You know,
They don't get it. Those people are just miserable.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? Those people, you're not going to
That. I don't even, to be honest, I used to get that in the game. I don't get that much, but there's always going to be somebody to have a comment that I don't like doing it for the camera. It's like, and anyway, even if you are doing it for the camera, so fucking well, because you know what? You're inspiring somebody else and you're helping someone. So even if it's for the wrong reason, they're still helping. They're doing more than you were doing, sitting there complaining about them doing it for the camera. And they're probably inspiring other people.
And I can't lie, I don't know, like, as much as I want to sit here and say, like, I would still want to be a part of it. If the exotics weren't wrapped into it from the beginning, before I knew everybody, before we got close with you and a couple of the guys there, I don't know if it would have got my attention to go do it.
Attention, of course not, because otherwise you'd be doing it in the soup kitchen. That's why I never go to soup kitchen.
It's the neon sign and just gets your attention.
It was cool. It was different.
Right,
and that's what I felt. I was like, damn, this is so fucking cool. Everybody's just coming. It became a hangout, and when you're there, help out. But people wouldn't just pull up empty-handed. They made sure they knew we're coming to hang out. Listen, not everybody wanted to go behind there and serve people.
Yeah,
but they'd still bring clothes. They'd say, I got to say, and then they just hang out kicking it because it's a good time.
Which is equally as good. That helps too, man. Everybody pitches in.
Never anything like this done before, ever. Not on a regular basis.
Not that I've ever seen. And every goddamn Wednesday night.
Every Wednesday.
But it's funny because, so Beck, who your friend, who you know now, another friend of mine, shout out Beck Lover.
Beck.
He was one of those people who drove by and didn't know what the fuck was going on. And that, he told me the story afterwards, that it completely changed the way he looked at me. He didn't know me before that, really. And we were like loose, high and by friends at the tea spot we hang out at Kava Sutra in the city.
Oh, you knew him already?
Yeah, but like we were just like high and by friends. So at that point, I wasn't really hanging out that much. I'd pop in, get a tea, and leave. And he was kind of doing the same thing. So if we happened to be at the same time, just so be a high and by thing, right? I thought he was Italian, big guy, slick back hair, a cigar, and he has an accent. He sounds like
Albo.
So yeah, he sounds like an Italian guy. So I, me and him talked a little bit, and I found out he's actually Albanian. But he's driving by the 34th Street charity drive, and he sees me hopping out, and he goes, "What the fuck you doing?" He sees all the cars. He's looking around confused, and I said, "Oh, we're feeding the homeless." And he's like, I'm like, "No, seriously, we're out here feeding the homeless." And he parks his car and starts to hang out. And then from that day on, him and Al started coming to the events every Wednesday night. And he told me afterwards, he's like, "Listen, Johnny, I'm not going to lie. He's like, I didn't know you. And I hate to even say that I judged you, but I thought you were kind of a dick. Like, I didn't think I was going to like you very much." And I get that. I get it. Like, I could see how, from an outside perspective, I look like a douche, right? Sometimes it happens. It is what it is, right? I know that about myself. But at the end of the day, when you get to know me, I think I'm a giving person. And he's like, once I heard you were there for that, he's like, it just shattered everything I thought about you. And now that I know you, I love you. So shout out Beck. And that's what it's all about, because we're all there for good reasons. And you actually have a very important one this weekend, correct?
We have the 6th annual PCNY Turkey Drive. This one, this is the biggest one of them all. This is the first big thing we did for every, the Thanksgiving, which is huge. So huge. We're going for 20,000 turkeys.
What are you at now?
Oh man, we're probably at we're in the 14,000 range, and we still have another week to go.
All right, so we got 6,000 turkeys to go. We need to get to that number. So if anyone watching this wants to help out, wants to donate, there's two parts to it. One, you can just donate and be a good person. And how do we do that?
So you can go on my page. There's a link. It's www.pcnyturkeydrive.com.
PCNYturkeydrive.com. We'll put that as a link below the video to click on direct.
That link will then go to a website which will say donate. When you click donate, it goes to Garden of Eden Foundation. That's our 501c sister company who's owned by Eden, who's an amazing person. Shout out to Eden.
Called Garden of Eden.
Garden of Eden Foundation. So you click directly into their link. I mean, you click on the thing that says donate, goes into the Garden of Eden, and you could donate whatever you want. Put a memo what it's for, and we appreciate anything that comes in. And we need all the help you can get, especially it's COVID. Really trying to take it up to another level. So what the big thing is, first year 600, 6th year 20,000 is the goal.
Unbelievable
it's
growth.
Crazy.
That's insane.
And then I'm teamed up with some pretty big heavyweights to accomplish it. You can't just get 20,000 turkeys delivered to you during Thanksgiving. That just doesn't happen unless you're a supermarket or.
No, you said $14 a piece too, right?
$14, big real money, like almost 400 grand you gotta get to. Wow! In a short period of time, and especially with COVID, it's not easy.
Wow. Yeah, I mean it's unbelievable. So what are the heavy hitters involved in this one?
Sparky, 1888.
That's the big Pagani guy, right?
That's the big kahuna right there.
Jesus Christ! So when it comes to the car rallies, it's funny because there's levels like everything else in this game or in life, and this guy comes through with. Most people don't even know what a Pagani is. So enough said.
And he'll come to 4 of them at the same time, or his kids driving them wherever, and just instead of pulling up one to stun, he pulls them all out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it big.
He does it big, and he has his friend Bazudos, and that's the actual I guess the wholesale distributor, the biggest distributor in the East Coast, and they have a thing called Dream Ride, which they do for the kids during the summer. So that's the whole combination of Dream Ride, Bazudos, and Sparky, and they get all their people together to make the donations on the other side. He's like, Wayne, you get 10,000. I'm gonna get 10,000. Don't worry.
Wow.
So I have to still get some.
Shout out Sparky. So, I haven't met you yet, but it sounds like you're a hell of a guy.
Oh, he's quite a character. That guy, great guy. Great guy.
Sounds like it.
You gotta watch his reveal when he got his yellow Pagani. He called it Big Bird. We went to the dealership, and he hired the full cast of I guess Sesame Street characters. So now you're here with this 60-year-old billionaire, and you're in a dealership. It's a dinner to receive his car, and Bert and Ernie and Big Bird. We had like 5 Big Birds there running around. And then people say, "Oh, he's a furry party." I'm like, I didn't even know what a furry party was.
I don't either.
Oh, you know what a furry party is?
Jesse, Google furry party. I don't know if we should. I don't know if we can show it.
A furry party. I didn't know what it was until then. Oh, this guy likes furry parties. I'm like, don't say that about Sparky. What's a furry party? Furry parties for people that like to be dressed up as furries. Like
what's a furries? Like an animal?
Like an animal? Like a
that's a sex party?
Yeah, a sex party, but in costume. They call it furry parties. Yeah, Google furry party.
That's Fury, 2 R's.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the other buddy. Furry party. Yeah,
it's everybody's first day, first podcast. So we got some things we still got to work on to be a little smoother. Jesse's getting his hands and dialed into the ones and twos over there. If the sound, audio, or video is slightly off, forgive me. We're working on it. All right.
So yeah, everybody dresses up at the party.
So that's like a furry party.
Like they're not hired to be like that.
And whatever, they have a little cutout.
Yeah, they have the cutouts and they get it popping.
Interesting.
Literally, yeah, like for fun. Like those people are not hired and paid to do this. This is legit. This is what they enjoy to.
Interesting.
And I'm sure there's some other crazy things. So
shit. Well,
yeah.
Whatever floats your boat, I guess.
That's the turkey drive. It's amazing. We're going down to DC.
And then are there spots still left for cars that want to get in? If anybody wants to put the big donation in?
I mean, yeah, I'll get it. Listen, I'll get you in. Of course, it's closed, but if if you really want to be part of it, we'll make sure.
And what's the entry for that for everyone listening?
It's $1,000 for one person and $1,250 for 2 people.
All right. Well, I mean, listen, I'm endorsing it right here, my goddamn self. If I was here this weekend, I would 1,000% be in there. Not only because it's a good cause, but because it's a fucking trip. Like I said, how many cars are in this one?
That's the thing. I had to line up the cars because we were doing the event down in DC, and all the event space like, you can only have 80 people, 90 people. So usually it's 120 plus cars automatically. And right now I had to keep it to a minimum of like 50, maybe 60 tops.
I mean, still though, we're talking about
that's a lot of cars, right?
50 Porsches, McLarens,
right.
Rolls Royces, Ferrari. I mean,
Bugatti, this, that.
Yeah, maybe you'll see a couple BMWs in there, and when an M6 or an M4 looks like a Camry, no offense to Camrys, in the pack, they're doing something right. So I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. It's something else. So if you have an extra $1,000 that wants to go to a good cause and have a dope time and a once in a lifetime experience, if that's going to be your only rally, I highly recommend that. Is it the same thing, Garden of Eden? Or if they want to do that,
Garden of Eden, same thing. Garden of Eden, just sign their name, their shirt size, and their number, and we'll get them in there. That's
what's up. So the car rally thing started before the charity. It sounds
correct.
Like. So how did that start?
So that's how that started. Was just like you. You've seen the movie Cannonball Run, like everybody else as a kid, and you always wanted to be part of a Cannonball Run and do some type of rally. And we have a mutual friend of my friend, me and Dave, my friend Dave Lynn, shout you out, Dave. His name is Ben. He owned this rally called the Gold Rush Rally. Ben Chen, we should also Google him. If you remember during COVID, there was that Porsche that got destroyed, the Carrera GT, the Gambella, middle of Manhattan, the blue one.
How'd it get destroyed?
You didn't see that?
By like
video?
rioters?
No, he took it out and he was fucked up and he.
Oh,
that, yeah,
whoa, yeah,
that's
yeah,
our
yeah.
friend. So he used to, there he goes.
I don't know.
There it is, right
I
there.
don't know if we
Ben
should
Chen.
incriminate him.
That's all right.
He's already deal with it.
He's good. Don't worry about it. He's already in the system for this. That's another one of his
wanna be
cars.
dry snitching on anybody.
He's done a good
Jesus
job. Yeah, that's
Christ.
crazy.
I mean-
7 a.m. I wake up, my phone's blowing up. Oh, do you
What
see
is that?
Ben?
What is that car?
$1 million. That's
I
a
better say
Gambella.
$750. Oh, yeah, it's the
$1 million.
special edition.
So yeah, 125. Ridiculous.
First time I
Great
saw that car was Seinfeld in person. I was a senior in high school in Belmore, and we were going home from our lunch break, and I am a car psychopath like you. So we're driving by, everyone's like, what is that? And I'm like, it's a Carrera GT.
Wow.
And they're like, what? And I was like, we get out and we're all around it, like just drooling at the mouth. We're 15 years old, I think 16 years old. And out comes fucking Jerry with a bowl of cereal.
What?
I guess his character is him in thing, but he came out with a bowl of cereal and he's like, hey, you like the car? And we're like, yeah. He's
The
like,
Long Island?
yeah, right in Belmore. His sister lives right there, apparently. He goes, you want to see the engine? We're like, yeah. Walks out, pops the fucking thing, and starts showing us the rear end, like showing us a whole.
Wow.
And back then, I mean, 2005, it was sick. I think it's a 604 horsepower car stock. That is, in 2005, that's like having 2,000 now.
Right.
Cars weren't doing that back then.
Right, that's
So
facts.
that was the dopest car we've ever seen in our entire lives. And we had Jerry Seinfeld give us a personal
that's
tour.
crazy.
So
Can't believe it.
I love that. I love that. Never forget that story. But this guy wrecked it in the middle of Manhattan.
In COVID, when no one else is on the street. So it was like
he must have
crazy.
lost control.
Oh, he definitely lost control.
He's got to be a good driver too,
He's
right?
definitely
So it's
not
like,
a good driver.
no.
He's I mean, look right there in front of you. That's 3 of his crashes alone.
Murcielago.
SV. And that was a rental car on the rally that he flipped over.
One of your rallies or
No,
Gold
his
Rush?
rally, Gold Rush. So,
This guy runs the Gold Rush.
well, he
rally.
used to. After this little thing here, he's out of there.
He
So
got
he was one of the
got
owners of
demoted.
Gold Rush Rally. Yeah, definitely demoted. He was one of the owners of it, and he invited me and my boy Dave to come, and I was like, wow, absolutely. The rally was from Las Vegas to New York, the first rally, and
What was Lynn driving at that time?
he had a black Aventador. So
He's always got some fly
yeah,
shit.
he always had some shit. This is in 2000.
Respect his car game.
13, yeah, he's definitely killing it. 13,
You know what it is?
14.
I know you're like me. When I see someone's car, I'm not talking about stock cars because stock cars just mean you have money. I don't care shit
Right.
about that. It's when the car comes customized. That's what the real flavor
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
As it takes the skill. Everyone can go walk into a Lambo dealership and write a check. Not everyone. Any rich person could do that. But the style comes in what you do after the fact. So I always judge somebody when I see their car by how many items I would have done differently. And if it's only like 1 or 2 things,
And you go in.
yeah, if it's only 1 or 2 things, I'm like, he crushed it. If I'm like, oh, his fuck, why did he do that? Why we should have gone darker on the tints. We still got chrome trim. It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah.
You know, I start picking it apart. Then I'm like, this fucking guy. I lose respect for it. 'Cause
Yo.
it's not the money, it's the style.
Much props to you, Johnny, for doing that S class. I have to tell you, not many people are wide. But like, I don't think you got enough props for that, to be honest with you.
Not at all.
Because people don't respect it. They
No.
don't get it because they see it as the S class.
Bro.
That's
First
on a
off-
whole nother planet. That car.
Okay, so for those who don't know, who didn't get to see it, I'll try to. Yeah, is it on? there?
Find Johnny's S class if you could.
I don't think I have it on
Fresh
the internet
class?
somewhere. Yeah, the fresh 63.
Fresh
So
63.
I'm glad that you appreciated that. At least some
Oh my
people did.
God.
So I took a S63 AMG, obviously, coupe, white red interior, and it actually had gotten hit. Somebody had hit my car. So while I was getting fixed, we were instead of replacing.
No, you gotta put what was
Yeah,
the kid prior
this is
prior
this is
design
the
wide
stock one.
body?
Yeah, put in prior
Prior
design S63. All right, you know, what I mean, whatever it is, but we, you know, it had gotten into. You're not gonna find it like that,
Yeah, prior
Don't even
design.
worry about
That's it. Yeah, it's,
but we'll include it in post. I'll put a picture of it up so you get to see
You
a
killed
couple
it.
pictures.
bro.
So we took basically the car to get fixed anyway, so I didn't have to come out of pocket with it. And then Rich from Renan and Prior Designs both came to me, and basically I didn't have to pay for any of this stuff. Is the way it worked out.
Yeah,
So it
cheat
was
code.
it was great for me. And then No Limit did all the installation. So you know they wanted me to be in the car show with them. So they ended up giving me all these things at cost, and with the insurance, it ended up being a clean swipe. So I had 22-inch Renan rims on there. Then I had a wide body conversion kit. Now, if anybody knows cars, wide body is not like your typical kit. It's not like double M tape, 3M tape on the side, little lips here and there. We're talking about complete overall. I think it was like a 12-piece kit. It had complete new front bumper, rear bumper, and side skirts, but then it also had both the wheel wells. The car's so much wider, the fenders over the wheel wells need to be bumped out. We're talking about like 6 inches wider. This car was 22-inch rims, lowered, all, you know, everything color matched and all that stuff. And the car came, and then DME tuning came in and made that car 800 horsepower. So that thing not only looked unbelievable like a show car, but I was burning Ferraris, burning Lamborghinis. Wow. I mean, off the line, it was still heavy and didn't have the launch, but once you're going in that car, I mean, it was G-force. Like I'd put people in the shotgun and be driving on the parkway. I'd be like, watch this. And they already know how I move in a car, but when all of a sudden your stomach is into your ribs,
car is sick.
It's different. And,
where is it?
It got sold. It got sold.
Cheap too, I remember. Like way
yeah, cheap. You know what? I was just looking to dump money into the CBD business. So we had to part with a couple of the toys. That was one of them. And someone had to come up and a half. Guy from California put it on eBay because I just didn't feel like dealing with the process. And I mean, the car was, we paid $120 for that car. And then even though I didn't pay for it out of pocket, you know, that kind of a hookup job. If you just walked into if you walked into No Limit right now and said, Jose, I have an S63. Can you do what you did to John's car? It's going to be $60,000 project.
Oh, at least.
Maybe more, yeah.
Yeah, more.
So, you know, that all factored in. Somebody bought it off eBay. I'm embarrassed to even say what they paid for it.
How much? I thought you said 70s. Right?
$75,000. The guy saw it on eBay and he flew out that night and came the next morning to the Bank of America and wired me the money on the spot and left happier than a pig and shit.
Car's crazy.
But the car was unbelievable. So, but that's one of those things too, where like, you know, I know you know your shit. So when you see that car, that had a D-badged because I don't give a fuck what people think. I know it's S63. If you sit up next to me and you go at the light, you're gonna find out it's a S63 and it's tuned. But yeah, I D-badged it, so people are looking at it like they think maybe it's a regular S550 and then whatever. But people, if you know, you know. In my opinion, that's like the best designation you can get as a person. For me, it's like if you know, you know. If you're in the if you know category in one of the topics, like you're at the elite level of understanding what you're talking about. So I like being in the know category in a couple of things, cars being one of them. So same thing when I saw you. It's a funny story when I first met Wayne. First time I actually physically met Wayne, my buddy was in from out of town and needed a car for the weekend. And my buddy Jojo, one of my brothers from Miami, he is a fucking car snob. So he won't just go to Enterprise and get a regular car. He needed something dope. So he calls me and he's like, I got to get something fire from up there. I'm going to be in New York for 10 days and back and forth to Connecticut. I need something dope to drive around in. Get me a Bentley or something dope. We ended up settling with, he got like a sick Range Rover from me. I think it was like a matte black Range on like 24s or something like that. He came out, got it, was happy as ever. But I want to surprise him because Joe takes care of me to no end when I go to Miami. You know, he was running Live and Story for decades. So whenever I go down there, I got the road treatment, and it's very rare that he comes up here and I get to hook him up. So I remember I came and met you at Body English. What the hell's the name of that place? Chateaubriand or whatever, up in Long Island. You were at some party. And I have no idea what to expect. I'd never even seen Wayne online before this started. I just through Jose. He told me if you're gonna need a car, speak to Wayne. This is like 4 years ago, probably at this point. Yeah. 4 years we've been rocking. And I pull up the Body English. He's like, I'm coming out front now. And I'm just looking at this fucking, at that point it was white. A white McLaren out front and had a kit on it, had the hood done, the spoiler on it. And that checklist I do in my head, I'm going through it and I'm going, this is right. Like I would have done it probably exactly like this.
So good and white.
Yeah. So which to me, which is like the ultimate cop out. If I can't find something wrong with your car down to the reflectors.
Damn, respect.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
then
that.
I'm like, okay. Then he comes out eating cookies. He hops into the car next to me and he's eating fucking Italian cookies. And he's like, you want one? It's crumbs are falling on his shirt. I'm like, this fucking guy, I love this fucking guy already. Hopping into McLaren with cookies all over his shirt, handing me a cookie. That's how the Body English. And that was the first time I met Wayne. Now 4 years and look at us now.
Yeah. That's what's up. Love that story. Back to your saying about the rally. So guy Ben invites us on the rally. Not like invites us $15,000 to go on the rally.
The Gold Rush?
To go on Gold Rush.
15,000?
That was in 2013, 14. So me, Dave, my boy Mo, my boy Jeff, who you know, we all signed up. We went on it, and it was a sick time driving across country. You know, meeting all these people.
Where to go? From where to where?
Vegas to New York.
Wow.
Started in Vegas. It was
How many days?
Like 7 days. At one point, you drive from Vegas to Salt Lake, then you drive to Denver. At Denver, they get you out of the cars, and you fly from Denver to Chicago, and they ship your cars. So we went from Chicago, I want to say Ohio, Chicago, Cleveland, Pennsylvania, New York. But you go in the middle of shipping. So anyway, we got back to New York. It was cool. We had fun. Everybody's like, oh, let's do it again next year. I'm like, I'll do it again next year, but I will never do the East Coast again because these roads suck on the East Coast. The West Coast is amazing. The beautiful scenery in the mountains and the straight roads.
No potholes.
No potholes. Just, you're cruising 150, 160, 180. The speeds are just crazy. And then, you're riding around Bugattis and it's 14. I mean, I'll never forget, Dave, we're in the Lambo. We're nailed. We're punched. I have a video somewhere. We're punched 170 and Ben's in front of us in his Bugatti. And it's just literally
pulling
just
on
disappearing. Fuck pulling, disappearing. Disappearing.
His
This is in the middle of somewhere
and that
in Colorado.
probably inspired his Bugatti purchase.
Yeah, I'm sure of that.
Deep down.
Deep down. Yeah.
And he's like, I'll never let that happen again.
Like, we were standing still. It was crazy.
It's embarrassing when you have a car that expensive and someone pulls on you.
That's not pull. It's disappear.
Yeah.
That Bugatti is a different type of situation. It don't pull.
16-cylinder engine.
Yeah, it's
1,001 horsepower stock, right?
It's crazy.
Think so, right?
Yeah, 1,001. And that guy's was the Super Sport, so that was 1,200 horsepower. His was just on a whole nother.
What's the new one? The Chiron is what, 1,600, something like that?
1,600. That's just, God even knows what that is. But so we go back the next year, same group of guys. We just do the East Coast, and we finish it in Texas, and everyone was like, it's kind of whack, this rally, the way these people are. You don't get to meet everyone. We should do our own rally.
Why was it like strictly driving?
It wasn't just that. It was just everybody's so cliquey, so you don't get to meet people. So it's like we came together and we left just knowing each other.
Yeah.
Versus like meeting people. Listen, I was sponsoring these rallies. $25,000 to sponsor. Get your stickers on the car. You would think, I'm trying to come out here with a client.
Yeah.
It's not a client, some type of relationship.
Networking,
right?
Yeah.
I want to network. Then in the beginning. So me, I'm just thinking clients. I didn't even understand the networking thing, but learn as I grew my business. But I want something. I want to feel that you're pushing me to help me since I gave you $25,000 for some stickers on my car, which I had to on the cars, which I had to help you, tell you where to put them so they would get good visibility. So that rally was saying, let's do our own. I'm like, they're pointing at me, let's do one. I'm like, I'm not doing one. Are you crazy? Who am I to do a rally? I'm not this guy. So randomly, my friend Derek G, who's a photographer in Miami, he hits me up one day. He goes, yo, Wayne, I want to do this rally. This 2014. Yo, let's do this rally in Miami. What's up? You have your friends come. I have my friends. I'm like,
this is you putting on your own for the first time.
Well, this was
talking about
it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, what you want to do? He said, yo, we'll do a route. We'll do a party. I said, of course, Miami is what you want to do in December. Yeah, no problem. And at that time, I was going to Miami a hell of a lot. That's like when Liv was for me, that was when I first started learning about Liv 13, 14. It was just rocking crazy. Mm-hmm. We would fly down there just for a night. To go out to Live, come back. It was crazy. I'm like, this is wow.
I'm infamous for that move. No luggage, just your wallet and money in your pockets.
I got a story for that one. My wife over there, she'll never forget this bad scene. It's 9. This is epic.
You got earplugs? I'm just playing.
Yeah. She was there. 9:30 at night. We're living in Queens in Astoria at the time. Dave calls me up. Sunday. I'm in bed, we chilling, about to go to sleep.
Oh, you already know Sunday where we're going.
Sunday, yo, what's up? 9:30 at night though, okay? In New York. I'm in New York, in Queens. Yo, what's up, Dave? Yo, what's up? Let's go to Live. I'm like, what do you mean let's go to Live? Yo, get a jet. We're going to Live tonight. I'm like, and I look over at her, I'm like, I'm like, I think I was on text with him. I'm like, now I'm not gonna say no. He's saying get a jet, let's go to Live. I'm in bed. I'm like, what? I said, all right, babe, I have to go.
Client needs me.
Yeah, pretty much.
It wasn't a lie.
It wasn't a lie. It's like, it is what it is. And literally, I jumped out of bed. I called my jet guy. I said, we need a jet. The closest one he can get was in Farmingdale. It was me, Dave, and this other guy. I forgot his name, Moshe, whatever his name was. We ended up in Farmingdale. At 2 a.m., we are walking into Live. Okay? At 7 a.m., we are at Farmingdale again, taking a chopper back into the city. It's great. I couldn't believe this just happened.
A round trip probably cost a good.
Oh, it was money. It was
35,000, 40,000.
Yeah,
when you put the club in there,
the club, the chopper. Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts.
That's when you appreciate what a private jet does.
Yeah, that's what you appreciate and what having money does.
Well, people don't understand what a private jet does for most people is obviously it's astronomical amount of money, but it's more than a convenience. It's time. When people have that much money, and I'm not on that level at all, what I'm saying is when people that do have that money, that amount of money, their time is worth so much that the time going to an airport, waiting in line, checking in, the whole nine, it costs them opportunity cost as much as they would have spent on a jet. These guys that are billionaires, they're making $1 million an hour. You got to think, you know what I mean, or whatever. Maybe that's exaggeration.
A day.
Yeah, let's say $1 million a day. Yeah. So, those 3 hours of your life you lose, commuting to the airport and whatnot, and then checking in, waiting on lines. It's worth it for them to do this,
Absolutely.
and to get to fucking live on a Sunday night on the drop of a dime and come back on your own time is amazing.
It was crazy. I'm walking in the club. I'm like, I can't believe 3 hours ago I was in my bed.
Wait, so I'm sorry, I cut you. I steered you off again. So now you're talking to a guy in Florida about doing the rally.
So now we're talking about Florida doing rally. He's like, yo, let's come down because because we were there a lot. My friends are there a lot with their cars. I said, cool, let's do it. So we organize a rally. At the end of the day, there was 25 cars. 20 of them were my friends. So I'm like, damn, I got a lot of friends.
It was all me.
I'm in Miami. It was all me. So he's like, let's do this in New York. That's when the rally I did with the lady Joanne that didn't show up. We did it in New York. It's called the IAE Ride Out, and that's how the rally started.
What was it called?
IAE Ride Out. I Am Expensive. That was his whole brand. I Am Expensive. Shout out Derek G, great guy. Made a lot of great connections with him. So thank you for that. And after that, I told him I wanted to do a big rally, and because he put me onto the rallies as far as like doing it. I said, bro, I'm gonna do a big rally. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna do it with you. Do your own thing. I was like, all right, no doubt. I didn't want to be like I'm just jump ship because you put me on and got me rolling.
Gave you notice.
I'm gonna do it, and that's how I started at the PC Blast. And the first one went from New York to Tennessee to Atlanta to Tampa to Miami. That was the first one, and from there,
New York to Tennessee straight.
Yeah.
How long was that?
12 hours.
Jesus. You learned your lesson with the too big of a first leg probably from that.
Yeah, that was
like anything. There's a curve to it. There's a learning curve.
There's a learning curve to
and
it.
you only learn the hard way. So if you're being in a car for 12 hours in a fucking cockpit looking like this, and your back's killing you, you probably learn fast.
But we had another incident like that once where we had to do a 17-hour drive one day.
From where to where?
Oh my God. So this is our West Coast rally. This is great. This is probably the best rally ever. So we're in Denver. Okay.
FOMO.
Yeah, we're in Denver. It's already late. It's 11 a.m. We're supposed to have left at 9 a.m. Everybody's taking their time to come to breakfast. And, every rally, me and my brother go, we drive the route first to plan it. So we know which way we're going. We know exactly what we're doing. So we leave. I just throw the Waze on just to make sure we're good. And we're driving about an hour and a half. And it tells us to get off and exit. And I see the sign. It says, welcome into Wisconsin, 10 miles. I'm like, wait a minute. This is the way I told myself we cannot go on the rally. We messed up this way before. I'm like, oh my God. So I turn around. I do a U-turn now. It's like 10 cars following me. We're going back the highway the other way. Bear in mind, now we're in Denver. The roads are wide open. There's nothing to see except mountains. And I see the other group of 20 cars coming the other way. And I'm like, turn around, turn around. I'm going to build up to this point of this drive. So now we went an hour and a half the wrong way, and an hour and a half just to get back to Denver.
This is a starting point.
So now we need gas. So now we're driving three hours. So we pull up to the gas station just as we enter these rocky, these mountainary roads. So we're sitting there. Jose, No Limit, starts bugging out. Yo, we're not going to Salt Lake. I'm telling you this right now, because now we already wasted 4 hours of our day, and it's already late. It's already 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, Jose, we're going to Salt Lake because these 40 cars, these 80 people, they're waiting for us at the hotel. Not to mention, I had people that flew into Salt Lake, drove to Salt Lake, that are also meeting us. They're meeting us at that leg. That's what they're doing. He goes, Wayne, we're going to Vegas. I'm like, Jose, we're not going to Vegas. You understand this hotel is paid for. Everything's paid for. Dinner's paid for. Breakfast is paid for. They're expecting 40 exotic. This is like put together. And the place, even though it was Utah, the hotel was dope, even though there's nothing else there to do. It's a Mormon town, and it was a Sunday. The whole point of the Utah stop was to chill out, calm down, and then Vegas will turn up. He goes, Wayne, we're going to Vegas right now. You know what? And then all of a sudden everybody's like, yeah, Wayne, we going to Vegas. I'm like, I don't even know what to say right now. So
that happens.
We start heading to Vegas. Of course, we get a crazy roadblock. The roadblock is for 5 hours. They stopped the whole group just because they were just middle of nowhere bored. So now, just hating. So we're roadblocked for 5 hours. We drove for 4. So now we're on 9 hours. We still have 600 miles to go at night. At night, middle of the night, you can't see nothing. It's just complete darkness. So we rolled into Vegas. So we left at 11 a.m. We rolled up to Vegas, and you're losing hours as you're driving. We rolled into Vegas about 4:35 in the morning, which is really 6:30 because we lost the hour. So that whole day driving, whole night, it was fucking crazy. We get to Vegas. we're just, and of course Jose didn't plan like, hey, let's make sure there's rooms. Now we got to try to book rooms while we're at the Wynn. Standing there, it was
In the 9 hours, no one could pull up the Expedia app. Huh?
Yeah, no, nobody does it. But you know what? That everybody looks back at that. That was amazing. It was so much fun, and that's what part of rallying is about. And you build these bonds, and it was just wild.
Yeah, I mean, networking is a great thing too. I mean, you got to figure everyone there is at least mildly successful to wildly successful. Correct. So it's and everyone's cool as shit, because you got to think about. I always say, the kind of guy who not only has enough money and drive to be able to be lucky enough to own an exotic car like that, but then a step further, someone who's cool enough to then take that car out and go drive it like that. These are no garage queens.
Right, everybody's on the same page.
That's it's all like-minded people. Everyone loves cars, love having a good time, and loves driving their cars. Right. And that puts everybody in the same kind of bubble. And then once you're with like-minded people, it should always just correct.
Right. And it could be someone that's a doctor and someone that's a restaurant owner, and they just click, and then they're all of a sudden helping each other out, recommending each other, referring each other. So
it's a dope community.
Exactly. It is a dope community. I used to ride bike. I'm sure you used to ride bike too. It's kind of the same thing with bike guys. You know what you do.
I retired from bikes.
Me too.
I got hit.
All the same. Oh, damn.
Yeah, I got hit twice, back-to-back years.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a bad surgery, and I got hit in 09, bad on the Parkway, Meadowbrook Parkway. Someone didn't see me, cut me off. And then the next year, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, this is why. And everyone's telling you that this is why. You could get rid of your bikes. And of course, my dumb ass is like, oh yeah? You'd like me to drive my 600 bike? I'm getting an R1. I'm gonna get 1,000. You guys could all sucker. And that was a fucking big mistake. So I got hit again the next summer. Someone knocked me down on my bike and bad. And after that, I was like, you know what? For bikes, it's it. I throw the deuce down low. Be alive. If I see you, I throw the deuce down low. I move out of the way for you. Everyone knows. I know the bikes are there, but man, that's it for me.
Lucky to be alive when you crash those bikes.
Oh yeah, man. I think I did die sometimes. I'm like, oh, what? Crazy. So that was your first rally? Was the Miami one?
That was the one from New York, Tennessee, Tampa, Atlanta.
That was the first solo one.
Solo one, right. That was PC Blast. That was.
Was there? And there was no charity for that one.
There was no charity for that one.
How long after that did the charity get tied in?
Well, I was already doing.
How many rallies? How many rallies between that one?
I mean, that was 2016, so I was already doing charity.
I mean, with the rallies together.
Oh, with the rallies together. I mean, now, listen. I was always doing charity. So if that rally didn't specifically have charity tied to it, it didn't matter, because the day I got back, I was back in the streets helping people. So really, once I got into charity, it didn't matter. Everything was revolving around charity. Anytime I made money, it was to help myself, to help the people. So maybe it wasn't a name charity attached to it, but they already knew what time it was. We're giving back always. Always.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. I mean, especially when you're I mean, I'm not taking anything away from your hard work or anybody else's hard work. But at the end of the day, in the game of life, in order to get to certain levels, you have to experience a lot of luck, right? Mm-hmm. Luck in where you're born, the parents you have, the people you meet along your way, breaks that, I'm sure you've had. I've had 100 breaks like we just talked about, where an inch here or there, or, a slightly different timing, your life could be completely different. You could be dead, you could be in jail, you could be, whatever it is. So you've had a lot of luck, I'm sure, on the way. So it's good to pay it forward now, because, we've talked about it a little bit here and there, but life wasn't always set up the exact same way.
No, definitely wasn't set up the exact same way. You gotta make it that way for yourself. You gotta stay focused. You gotta do it.
What were you doing before car rallies?
For car rallies?
Before the concierge service.
So my life was crazy. So when I was born, my dad owned his own business. It was a citywide ambulance, and
you were up in Yonkers, right?
I was in Yonkers, yeah. And he started that business in the 60s. He had a partner, and I always knew growing up, okay, I'm gonna end up owning his business. It's car related. I love cars. It's an ambulance business, and
it's all you knew growing up.
So I and so I knew that his partner, his son, worked there. So I just knew that I'm gonna end up working there, and of course, their business is gonna become our business, naturally. And come 94, 95, I'm out of high school, and I start working there, and I believe I'm gonna end up owning the place one day. I'm not worried about college, even though I went to community college just to appease my parents, my mom, really, because
you weren't taking it serious.
Yeah, I was just going up there, signed up, and wasn't even going to class, but just to make her happy. 95/96, my dad's partner ended up doing some tax bullshit, and I didn't even know what the hell was going on then. But basically,
and got caught
up. He wasn't paying taxes, and my dad had to pay all these taxes that he had no money for, and he had to sell the business. So now I'm there. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Some Hasidic guy comes in and buys it. So this is like threw my whole head off. I'm like, damn, what the hell am I gonna do? Fuck, I just stay working here. Long story short, the Hasidic guy fires me not too long after that, maybe like 2 months later.
The new owner.
The new owner fires me.
He cleaned house.
Well, he didn't fire me just for the hell. I was driving an ambulance and I got into like an accident. I hit a van on the Grand Central. The mirror hit the back of a van. It was like I don't know, on the side of the road with a
You
flat.
racing the van, Wayne?
I was speeding a little bit. I stay speeding, and I definitely did some crazy shit in those ambulances. That's for sure. I was like straight out of the movie. Like we'd be drinking at night, and the dispatcher's office, then they go do a call. I remember dropping a patient. I was drunk. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. It wasn't even EMT, but I was doing an EMT job. It was wild. It's straight up out of a movie. So the mirror of the ambulance smashes this van that's parked on the Van Wyck Expressway, the Grand Central, and the glass comes flying in my face. My whole face is cut up. I'm bugging. I didn't know if I was my lips were on my body, and I didn't know what was going on. I go flying back to the base. Lights and sirens on. Everybody's standing outside. Like, I'm cut. I'm dying. And he's standing there, like the new owner. Long story short, 2 days later, he fires me. You know, the way you did, you drove crazy. You should have pulled over, did everything, but we have to fire you for that. I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Fuck you. And I cursed him out.
This bitch.
Yeah, I like cursed him out and whatever. And from there, I didn't know what to do. And I love motorcycles at that point. So
How old are you now?
At that 22. And I went to get a job as a teacher's assistant, making $8 an hour, just so I could put gas in the motorcycle, so I got fun, legit.
But you were a biker boy at that point.
Yeah,
you were in
I
the
was
lifestyle.
Down. Yeah, I was in that.
It's funny how it quickly becomes like your identity, right? When you're a bike guy.
Yeah, automatically. I mean, my first bike was a stolen bike, a ZX7. I remember I traded my 3DO and my stereo system in $1,500. Guy gave me the key and everything for it. Like,
no title, no VIN.
Definitely no title. Just the way it came straight out the somebody's backyard.
If you get pulled over, you don't know me.
Yeah, I pulled over. I ain't getting pulled. You know, pulling over on bikes.
No.
But that was my addiction bike. So it didn't matter what I had, whatever I had to do to keep having bikes, whether they were stolen or I could afford to ride them, was what I was doing. So I got a job.
You rode bikes when you were a kid too, or no?
No,
this was your first bike.
This was my first bike.
Yeah.
So I got a job just to afford it. Teacher assistant, weird, me like teaching with like little kindergarten kids. It was strange, but I didn't care.
Just a paycheck.
Just a paycheck, like $300 a week, if that. And I was just happy that I could ride my bike. I got into a bad accident. So I was living in Rockland, messed up pretty bad, ripped open my whole body, legs, arms, broken ankles, a whole bunch of shit. Next year, start walking again, get another bike, another accident. 98 comes. I got my third bike now, okay?
So you did you did back-to-back year accidents.
Yeah, back
you kept going.
I'm selling Kirby vacuums, okay, to I didn't even have a job. I was just doing every little hustle. I was going door to door selling Kirby vacuums just to be able to afford my bike. By any means, right?
That's a true hustler, though.
Yeah, by any
People
means.
think hustler, they think, well, maybe we'll get to that. But hustling is just that, exactly. It's finding any way possible to make it happen. I mean, everything.
One of my best friends, same thing. We would ride together on his bike, no homo, to go sell Kirby's. It was so crazy, but we didn't care. It was like whatever it took, and it was some sick shit.
Filling a tank up, it's all matters.
Yeah, exactly.
What,
so,
I don't know. What the fuck is a Kirby?
A Kirby vacuum cleaner? It was the biggest crazy.
Like a pyramid scheme?
It was this $2,000 vacuum cleaner that they make you show how it could clean the shit out of anything. Like literally, like, look, you put it on this couch and it sucks all this dirt out. But the scheme was they would send you home that weekend. They'd say, listen, if you sell any of these vacuums full blow, we'll give you $700. Like, oh my God, $700. Their whole thing was they would think you're a loser for going door to door selling vacuums. So maybe you'll go home with this vacuum to your family. It was just a motor. It probably cost $150. It's a powerful motor, and that's it. You go home to your family would make, feel bad. Hey, we'll buy the vacuum. So now you just sold a $2,000 vacuum. This is in 95, 96. And, the company collects $1,250. The vacuum probably cost them $100. And you made your $750, so they kept on bringing these classes in and out. I think we would actually go to door to door sell them, but it was more of a scam.
Yeah,
because it was just this cool Kirby, and they figured every class they would come in. Some parents feel bad for their fucking loser kids that are selling vacuums door to door. It was fucking loser shit. You'd have to go to someone's door. You'd have to a bottle of detergent. Hey, can I give you this bottle of detergent for free? And then let me show you how this vacuum works and try to sell you a $2,000 vacuum in the hood.
Did you sell any vacuums?
I never sold a vacuum.
Never won.
I didn't even know how to take the shit apart. With so much things. It was crazy. And you go in a van.
You're on a bike?
No, we would ride to the office on a bike.
Oh, okay.
But then you go in a van with like 20 other people and like, okay, go to the neighborhood, scatter around. It was like, and
like
you go
the kids
knock
selling
on the door. Yeah, exactly. It was great. But it was a bunch of, man, they're not losers. We were just people trying to find themselves. They didn't know what to do. And by any means, was trying to get the money. So did that for a while. Got into another motorcycle accident. Long story short, every year I crash, fucked up. I meet this girl. She's a friend of mine. She's called Jamie. She goes, Wayne, do you want to move to Arizona with me? My family, we're moving. My dad's selling his company for tax reasons. He got to go to Arizona. It's the first billionaire I ever met in my life for her family.
Billionaire with a B.
No, millionaire.
Oh, I
Millionaire.
think
It was like, mid 90s. I didn't know anything
still
about millionaires back then.
millionaire's a
Yeah,
millionaire.
like, and he was selling his company for like 40 million. This is like mid 90s. I was like,
no,
wow,
that's
this
heavy,
is
especially
crazy.
in the 90s.
Yeah, it was heavy. The girl was driving 600 Benz. She had, her own 5 Series. I helped her get the wheels. She had like MAEs, M style mirror. It was crazy for a girl. And she knew all about bikes, and we clicked real well. She said, "You want to move to Arizona?" I said, "Absolutely." So I moved to Arizona with her. We lived in Scottsdale. Sick, loved it living out there.
I've never been there. I've heard.
Oh my God, I'm surprised. You would fucking
Everyone knows me is like, this is for you.
Yo, you would love Scottsdale. I could already tell. It's just nothing but just beautiful weather, the scenery. It's so clean. Nobody litters in Scottsdale. Move out there. I'm not doing much. I'm trying to like work so her dad doesn't look at me like I'm a loser because I don't even know him. He has some random guy living in the house with them. It was like weird. Finally, after a year, I just come back to New York and I say, hey, his name's Charlie. And you can give me a job in your company? He owned a company that traces unclaimed bank accounts. So he gives me a job in this company. Yeah, when you get back to New York, you talk to Paul. He'll hire you. The guy, Paul's like, yeah, well, we have to do an application first. I'm like, application? I just lived with the owner for a year in his house in Scottsdale, right?
Didn't he call you?
Yeah, like, why are you giving me a hard time? Like, damn, this is some fucked up shit. So then they hire me. And I'm like this errand boy running to the courthouses doing like stuff like pulling
someone
files.
dies with money in their
Someone
account.
dies with money in their account. No one knows about it. Right, exactly. So
Gotcha.
we would get these lists and associate the unclaimed money with family members that wouldn't know about it. So I'm doing this job, making $250 a week, just happy still to ride my bikes and just go to work from 9 to 5. And then one day I said, this is 99. I said, I gotta buy a car. I need to buy a car. And my favorite car at that moment was the NSX. I love the NSX. That guy got me an NSX. So I'm in car buyer's market. I don't know if you might be a little too young for car buyer's market. Yeah, every Thursday would come out with the used cars and the repairables. You just on the cusp of probably.
I was a kid. I wouldn't. I just looking at it like it was stocks.
Yeah, right.
To me, it was.
So every week we're looking for deals. So I see an NSX in there. It was like 29,000. I'm like, with rims on and everything. I'm like, what the fuck?
That was the street car.
That was it. NSX. I'm like, I gotta buy this car. The car should have been 40-something thousand. Why the hell is it 29? So I call the guy up. He lives in Queens. Yeah, come meet me. I'll meet you in the Burger King on Northern Boulevard, right there by the BQE.
It's already sketchy.
Cool. Yeah, cool. He pulls up out of nowhere. Well, I thought he's Spanish. His name was Adil. He goes, yo, you're Wayne? I'm like, yeah. He pulls up in a Ducati. I'm like, yeah, where's the car? He's like, all right, don't worry. I'll be right back. I'm like, okay.
Sketchier.
Comes back in the car. I'm looking. I'm like, oh, my God. I cannot believe this guy's about to sell me this car for 29 grand. This is crazy. This car is probably worth more than 40,000. It's probably worth 50. He's like, what do you think about the car? It had rims on. His lower looked sick. I'm like, I love the car. It was black. I was like, it's all right, cool. I said, well, how do you want to do the deal? He's like, well, when do you want to pay me? I said, I'll come back tomorrow. Don't worry about it. He goes, okay, you want to take the car with you? I'm like, no, I don't want to take the car with me. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to park it. Do you want to go out tonight? I'm like,
I like this guy.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess, sure. He's like, all right, bro, I'm going to come pick you up. Scoops me up. He had the big 600 Benz back in the days on like 20-inch Lowenharts. Okay,
S or CL?
The CL, the coupe, the big blue, dark blues, Lowenharts, all the windows down.
I love that.
I'm like, who is this fucking guy? Like, he got the Ducati at me, pulls out the N6. Now we're in the 600. Like, I'm not even. This is different over here. What the hell? Yo, we go on strip club, phenomenons, whatever, perfections. I don't know what it was back in the days. So like, go in there, we spend all kinds of money. He goes, all right, bros, we had fun. I'm like, yeah, we had fun, whatever. Next day I call him, let's do the deal. He goes, oh, bro, you don't know what happened. I said, what happens? Like, I gotta talk to you about that. Long story short, come to find out, I guess the car was stolen and revinned, and auto crime came and took the car and all this other shit. But me and him became cool.
Well, good thing you didn't take the car back the day before, right? They're by your house.
Yeah, like, cool, all right, whatever. But then me and him, I'm like, this guy, who is this guy? I like this guy.
No NSX, we're still good.
Yeah, we good. This guy was a good ass fun time. We out in these clubs, we going crazy. And he then kind of basically introduced me to the life of crime. And I started doing some crazy shit with him.
We had to figure he wasn't a stockbroker.
Yeah, he definitely was a stockbroker. He was more into he had his own car theft ring actually at the time. He was dealing with the Russians. They was doing all kinds of wild shit. They were going to getting keys out of the Mercedes dealership in Brooklyn, taking Benzes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Oh, I didn't know if it was for real, but they was doing some alleged shit. And hanging out with him was I just now entered this new world that I never knew is how it is. I never around people doing crime, and this guy was really committing crime every day, for real. He really had you go to his garage, he had 4 or 5 cars in his garage at a time, and he's getting phone calls. They got scanners and weird shit, things they're doing with insurance companies. I'm just
something ain't right.
Yeah, I'm like, but this shit is fun as shit. Yeah, this is some dope ass. What the fuck? I said, I fuck with this guy. This is I'm gonna try and get some money with him. And I never got into the whole car thing. He would bring me like when he would go steal cars, and I'm like, I'm not. This is a little out of my league.
I've never seen it. I've seen a lot of shit in my day,
bro. Like
I've never seen someone like movie style like hot wire a car.
It wasn't like highway. Them motherfuckers had keys to these cars.
They printed their own.
Yeah, they go to the Benz. They would make the keys. I seen some shit. It was crazy. I'll never forget. He stole a CL600.
They just open that shit and drive away.
He stole a CL600, the silver joint. Remember the nice silver sport one had the Lorenzers on it? He went straight to the tire shop on Northern Boulevard with his car, the blue one, and the stolen one, swapped the wheels off real quick, and then like sold the stolen one somewhere. And they put these rocking around with the Lorenzers. I'm like, this is crazy.
Took the rims.
Took the rims out of his own car. And so I'm like, this is nuts. And wild stuff. I mean, I seen so much shit with that guy. I couldn't even believe the shit I was seeing. It's just like low jack finders and all kinds of just. It just put me into a world I was not used to. And
so this is Gone in 60 Seconds type shit.
This is definitely Gone in 60 Seconds type shit, and it was definitely wild. And I mean,
only Shelby's.
We didn't. It was never a Shelby. I never stole any cars myself, but I mean, I've seen it, and I'll never forget. We were in a restaurant one day. Nobody knows this story, not even you. We're in a restaurant on it was on 11th Street. This is crazy. This is crazy. Or it's 11th Street and like I don't know 7th Avenue, and
this is Manhattan.
In Manhattan, and this is a spot he would always go. Everybody knew him there. And this red NSX pulls up. Sit 96 NSX red, nice, clean. What guy leaves?
What's the T? That's the
Target.
The no top. The top pops off.
Top is all right. So a few days later, we're talking. He's like, "Yo, I got a car for you. If you want to rebuild, if you go look for a crash NSX, I know you're looking for one. I got something for you." I say, "What you got?" I go to the garage. That NSX is sitting in his garage. Crazy. Like this is some shit that was.
Wait, you saw it while you were out with somebody else driving?
No, he saw the NSX. The owner came in the.
That's what I'm saying. Someone else was driving.
He took the plate number down. Called up the insurance guy. Where's this car parked at? Where's his house? Stole the car from his house. Got a key made. Stole the car.
The exact car.
That car.
Not the same model.
No, that car. That car. And he's like, remember the other day at the restaurant? I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. Well, 3 hours later, I was driving because I bought it for $3,000. Okay. Thought I was fucking cool. Went to a strip club with it. Just
I'm sure you were that night.
Yeah, I took the plates off someone's Dodge Neon, threw it on this car because it was a red Neon. So at least if the cop didn't know what the hell the car was, at least it said it was red. So I take the car. I'm all the way like 30, 40 miles out of the strip club in Jersey. Just I don't even know what I was thinking. I'm going out there. I'm like just to impress some strippers. Like, hey, come outside, look at my car. Like
they were gonna see you pull up or something.
Yeah, it was crazy. And that was my parents like, whose car is this? Like, it's mine. I just bought it.
$3,000. Why?
So yeah, it was wild seeing stuff like that, and then being around him.
I'm sure it led to other endeavors.
And we ended up going to this club. This is again before your time. It's called Sound Factory.
I was there during the Pasha era.
Yeah, you're in the Pasha era, exactly. Yeah. So you already know. I get in there, I meet other people, and one guy. It was almost like the movie Paid in Full. Like someone hands you something. What you know about this? Some guy hands you like ecstasy. I don't even say his name. I'm like,
what kind of pills were this?
I don't know. Probably Mercedes or I don't even know.
That's always the funniest thing. Like, oh, I got yellow Pumas or fucking, double stack, triple stack G ladies. Yeah,
exactly.
It's like, man, what fucking crackhead printed these?
Yeah, he's like, here. I said, what are these? Like, ecstasy. I'm like, ecstasy. He's like, yeah, well, I'll give them to you for like $7. It's 50 of them or whatever it was. Go sell them. Make money. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm only making $300 at my day job anyway. I'm like, all right, let me try this. So start selling, ecstasy to people I knew in the club, or I had a friend of mine that put me onto the club and sell to his friends. And
it's in Sound Factory.
Well, yeah, I got them in Sound. The first time I ever touched ecstasy was in Sound Factory, but then I was selling them outside Sound Factory, and it got so crazy. And it went from like selling 50 pills to we not use all this, I don't know. But anyhow, it went from selling 50 pills to then me end up hooking up with the Israelis and Dominicans were out there dropping off 10,000 pills at a time. I got so much ecstasy constantly on me, it's insane. I mean, insane. Like my parents' house is like an ecstasy factory.
But now, I said I'd never seen that kind of thing before. Like 10,000 pills.
They were coming in these strips.
I'm saying, like, how much room does 10,000 pills take up? Is that a shoebox?
Or no more. But they're coming. They're not even in bags because they're getting smuggled in these little like thin strips like that. Like they're 10 across flat. So it's like people putting on their legs, however they're bringing. So it's wild. Like it was like I said, I never had it in bags until I would take it out and dump them in, and it just became crazy. I was making so much money with these ecstasy.
Overnight.
I put the hood
From a kid making $300 a week.
Now I'm making $300
an hour.
I'm buying cars. And then I went and bought my first NSX instantly. Bought an NSX, I bought an Escalade, I bought an M3, I bought a bunch of shit right away. And
this is in Yonkers still?
No, this is when I'm living back in Yonkers now on my own at this point. Or no, I was living with my parents still actually in Rockland, something like that. So I'm making money hand over fist with this. It's great. Like I said, I put the whole hood of Brooklyn on Williamsburg. They didn't even know what ecstasy was, and I came there one day with it because I was getting my haircut in Williamsburg.
This is pre-Molly era for everyone listening now.
This is pre-Molly.
No one ever heard of Molly at this point.
No, definitely not. And I'll never forget. 2001 comes, the Twin Towers collapse. And at that time, I was just terrible, beyond God, we know what that's about. I remember I had a couple thousand pills in my house. I'm like, who the fuck is gonna buy this? Not that at the moment didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I'm like, now we're figuring things out. Who's buying this fucking?
Yeah, no one's partying right now.
Right? Who's people ever party ever again? I bought all this ecstasy now. What am I gonna do with this? I don't think anybody's partying. And then from there, I switched into like selling weed. And we sold weed, ended up building a weed service in Manhattan. It's crazy. This is my life. Like, you wouldn't even believe it. Then it was a coke service.
Jeez.
No one's ever heard of this. I went into this with back, like, this is like straight up. Chester will tell you, I'd never tell this story to nobody. Nobody knows this. Only if you knew me, you would know this.
Well, it's good for people to hear that, maybe someone's in a situation now or is coming out of that situation now, that you can always redirect. Because even though they were telling the glory stories of what happened to him, I'm sure like every story in this thing is an up and is an inevitable down, and then you can always turn it around. You can do something positive after.
And I'm not telling the story to be proud of it, because I'm not.
But this is the journey.
Midst of it, it was cool. It was like, oh, this is crazy.
This is the journey, though.
The journey.
This is how you got here. You wouldn't be who you are right now had you not taken that road.
So exactly, I went. So I met a guy from uptown. He was like, there's diamonds all over. I'd never seen this. He was different. The other guy, Dominican guy, of course.
Those Dominicans are kind of different, man.
Yeah, different.
Guys are different.
Money every time this guy's pulling out stacks of money out of knots. Crazy. Like, fuck knots. He could never fold his shit. His shit was always rubber bands up.
Shit was straight.
Like this. Crazy. It was like, yo, this guy makes so much fucking money. I never even seen this shit in my life. And he's like, bro, all you gotta do is we do a service together. I got you. Just trust me. This is the way you see this. And I'm like, the way he used to spend money was like, I've never seen somebody go in a club and spend, $5,000 or $10,000 in my life. Like this guy would do it every day. In cash. Like, so he put me onto this whole coke thing, which I never even touched, and started a service in the city. One, selling at 50, at 20, and people, referred, and we had business cards to a point where now we had workers, we had cars with stashes in it, to the point where
now it's a full-blown
movie scale
operation.
Yeah, full-blown. We had stash houses. It was so crazy. Workers were getting fucking caught up with fucking clients that were doing all kind. I got so much shit. I mean, one of my workers got tied up and kidnapped at one point.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was crazy because he got cool with a girl, and these girls thought this guy had so much money because he was the guy. He'd always have wads of money from running around. You would think he was an ugly Chinese dude, and just mad drama happened. Long story short, so 10 years of doing that nonstop. I don't know how I made it out of this now. I'm so deep in this shit, and the money doesn't stop. And what do I do? I'm not gonna turn the phone off. I'm not gonna hand the phone to anybody. So it's just nonstop. My lifestyle in Manhattan at that time, I could go to any restaurant, any dope restaurant at least, because that's the people we're meeting, and eat for free and sit down at any time. The manager, of course, the manager, everybody's doing coke and any restaurant, because I had them all under my wing. It was crazy. It was like the king of New York at that time in a different way. And then a lot of bad shit started happening. One of my workers got kidnapped at one point. Another guy got set up, and just bad shit happening. Loss after loss, and this and that. And
tides are turning.
I'm like, I gotta get out of this. I've been wanting out of it. It wasn't like I wanted to stay, but it was like, what am I gonna do? I'm not saying give this to someone unless someone pays me for it. And I want to get paid the right amount of money. But then the bad things start happening, and me and my partner, we're not seeing eye to eye. I'm starting to hate him. I'm resenting him for even being in this business. He's not doing nothing anymore. I built the whole thing, and he just sits back and gives me the work, and then he wants to collect half. And so a friend of mine actually, who I was then started doing other business with, and now I'm doing bricks. I don't know if you even play this, but I'm telling you as a conversation.
Yeah. No, this is 20 years ago.
Yeah, but we might not even, I don't think we should put this on. Now I start selling bricks. Bricks of cocaine, straight up, real bricks. I know everybody's moving stuff, and I get into that. The guy that I'm getting the bricks from, he ends up getting killed in a T-Rex accident. It's crazy. And
of all ways to go out.
Of all ways, ball of flame. T-Rex crashes, car smashed into the side of him. He burns up inside of it.
Jesus.
He owed me a lot of money. So I'm like, wow, this is another hit. I can't do this anymore. Every time I look, God, so bad for him for dying, and all the shit that's happened. And I fast forward a lot of shit, like just skip past it.
But needless to say, the glory train, it hits it
Yeah.
doesn't last.
Yeah, so
The
I said, you know
drama,
what?
the
Everything
law,
is done.
the
Yeah,
deaths,
and I was even trying in 2007. My brother like, let's start a rental car company because I was renting. I was making so much money. I was renting so many cars constantly. There was a spot downtown that the Israeli guy owned, and he always had the newest shit. You would go to him. He didn't care cash, Hummers, Porsches, those fucking Prowlers. He was like that guy that hooked up all the dope boys.
Gotta love the Israelis.
Right. So I was like, why don't we just start our own rental company that makes me money off these cars? So I tried to start a rental company in '07, tried in '08, the market crashed. It was dead. It was nothing was happening. So I continued on what I was doing with this thing. And I still had my day job because I was still want to make sure I woke up in the morning, went to work. And 2010, I just got sick of it. It was just so much bad shit happening. My workers were robbing from me, using their own work to like make their money. I'm like, damn, why is my shit slowing down so much? And I'm like, everybody's robbing from me. I'm not paying attention because I don't care. And I said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I gave the shit to my boy. Here it is. Here's the phone. I don't want to deal with this no more. I had 10 grand to my name, and right there, yeah, I'm out. I don't. I'm blessed that I never got in trouble with this. For all the shit I'm talking about, 50, 100 sales every single day, 100 sales
and
every.
then just quitting like cold turkey.
It was crazy. I was making money. Like it was nuts. Like
and probably spending it just as fast.
Spending just as fast. Oh yeah, I was chilling every night.
Fast money that's the biggest problem.
Chilling. And not proud of it, but it was part of my life to like, anyway, went from Kirby's to Coke. And it is
and then the weirdest part at that point must be you've been accustomed to this lifestyle.
And
now what?
Yo, you're hitting on the head.
Now
I'm
what?
accustomed to this lifestyle, and I say I have to stop because this is out of control.
And how are you going to feed those habits with a regular person's life?
How can I go to zero? But then I met my wife at the same time, and I felt she's such a good woman. This is real. She's such a good woman. I would never want her to see me and have to visit me somewhere. Plus, I don't feel right doing this shit around her because she's such a church going, true.
Yeah, God forbid she gets caught up in some kind of situation, arrested or hurt.
Right, but she didn't deserve to be around something like that, regardless. And
just bad energy.
Bad energy. It turned me off. And I'm like sneaking drugs into her house because at that point when we started dating, I was living in her house. I was out of the city, and I'm hiding shit, and I just felt so bad. So I gotta get out of this, and that was my driving point right there. My conscience. Exactly. That was. She's not even heard the story. That was my driving point right there. I said, you know what, Wayne, you got to start a business. It's enough is enough of this shit. You made 10 years a long run. Like, and I make friends I know been to jail so many times, still locked up. Like, and they don't get those breaks. Like, Wayne, you just 10 years straight, nonstop. Like every day. It wasn't like selling a couple pounds here and there. Like this is every day a real business. I'm telling you, we had like I said, cars with stashed, not one car, 2, 3, 4 cars running around the city at a time, 3 different phones. It was crazy. So I said, Wayne, you have to stop.
You're blessed to have made it this long.
You're blessed. And that's why I never talked about it. Because I felt like God blessed me so much, so crazy that don't ever bring it up. Don't talk about it. Keep that as your thing. And I did it again. I came on Beck's show, did a little bit, and I said I just kind of want to talk about it because I want to inspire people to do it. And again, I don't know how much this will stay or not, but that was it. I put the 10,000 my brother. I said, listen, let's buy a Mercedes. We'll pick people. I want to do this concierge service. Forget the rental car. We'll buy men's. We'll do the cheapest price in Manhattan. We'll try to get some clients to the airport, $30, $40, and that's how PCNY started right there. With one car and me and my brother. And
that move
down to nothing.
But that was a decision. So like what people need to pay attention to it of all the things and all the flashy parts of the story, that conscious decision that, okay, I know what I'm doing right now is not right. I know that this is going to lead to a bad ending. And I have people around me now that care enough about me that I don't want to do bad for them. I don't want them to be, I want to make them proud of me. I want to make an honest person of myself in the situation. And to quit cold turkey, what you were doing, making money hand over fist, and with it's almost hard. It's definitely harder to go that route. If you get busted, something really bad happens that runs you out of the game. I mean, you're kind of forced out to make the decision on your own. That I want better, and then to go and do it is something very noble. And I'm sure there's a lot of people listening to this, or even if you're not listening. There's a lot of people out there that are in similar situations.
They want to make a change. And that's what they say. When you're in the game, you can't get out of the game. There's only 2 ways out. Unless you could find that way. Because I even tried to have a business while you can't have a business and be in the game. Because the game is your business. And you got to be careful. You got to pay attention. So you can't. And you have to. And
Your focus is in the wrong spot at that point.
You either have to quit or take your money and invest in the business while you're doing it, and then slowly transition. You can't do both. It's impossible.
Yeah, but without being forced out, there aren't many people that can make the decision. So I commend you for being able to do that. Obviously, this was a long time ago, a different chapter of your life. But I mean, it enabled you to do everything you do now. Being in that world, I'm sure, furthered your connections in the car game. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't be here right now. Maybe you'd still be selling fucking Kirby's. You know what I mean? Who the fuck knows what it was? But it took those lessons
crazy
to get you where you are now. And that was spawned. So, and all that spawned your current position, your concierge service. It inspired you to start the car rallies. And then the end of all that is what brought you to the charity work. So all this, as odd as it sounds, and the crazy little turns that the road took, it took that to make all this good you're doing now possible. All this good you're doing now would not exist because you wouldn't have been on that same road of life, figuratively speaking, that you are now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, you know what I mean? There's got to be a positive way to look at everything. And I think that if that's the way to capture it perfectly, is that all the things that went wrong and all the things that you went through and did that you're not proud of brought you to where you are right now, where you're doing fucking amazing things.
Thank you.
And you're helping out a ton of people and inspiring way more than that. Like your reach physically on a regular Wednesday night, maybe a few hundred people. Your online presence is tens of thousands of people. And then there's as corny as it sounds, there's that ripple effect that happens. Like you saw it, it's a tangible thing. You lit a spark inside of me doing the charity work. Now I get messages all the time from doing what I do on a day-to-day basis on top of the charity work that I started last year that I hope I can do this winter. And then people hit me up saying that I inspired them, or they come and show up to my friends and family they come to your events, they come to my events, and they pitch in, they help out. And if somebody sees that, and that's what fucking that positive chain reaction goes on, and there's no even way to quantify how many people you positively impact with what you do. And you can't ever understate that, like how important what you do is and how much it should be celebrated. Like I was talking to Lieutenant Mike actually the other day, and he was telling about the interview you guys did on the Today Show. And when I saw you guys on it, I was like, about fucking time. Like, where's the fucking news every week? Like I'm so sick of the political conversations and everything like that, and it's just, you know, the news is just bad news, right? All I want to talk about is the shit going on. They shove all this negative stuff in your face all day, every day. This is on fire. This person got killed. This person's stealing. The corrupt Democrats or corrupt Republicans, whatever channel you're watching. Why aren't we talking about stuff that happens like this? Like why isn't there a fucking news crew every Wednesday night at PCNY in the streets? It blows my mind. Or why aren't these rallies and these turkey drives with tens of thousands of turkeys and hundreds of almost $500,000 in goddamn poultry this weekend? Why isn't every fucking news channel talking about that? I don't understand for the life of me. And if my voice ever gets to the level where I can shine more of a light on the situation and on the things that I'm trying to do, I believe, God fucking damn, believe me, I will. I'm trying to bring whatever attention, money, and resources to good people doing good shit. And there's very few people that I know in my personal life that have more of their time, energy, and money focused on doing good for people that they don't know than you do. That's straight up.
Thank you.
So, I mean, I hope that people hearing this want to get involved. I hope that you realize that charity can be cool too. Like, I mean, come to a car rally, man. I challenge you to come to a car rally. Come to a Wednesday night when it pops back off in PCY in the streets and experience that. Experience what it feels like. And then the thing that I took even take that back. The thing that I enjoyed more even in that was the kids. So like, you know, it almost accelerated another level because there's something about a kid in need and the happiness, the joy of a child. That's like, it's unparalleled. It's so pure. You know, there's no ulterior motives in there. You know what I mean? So these kids show up to those coach drives, and I take it as part of my privilege, right? But the privilege of the life that I've lived, I didn't even realize that in 2020 that kids didn't have coats in New York. Like, I thought that was a problem from the 80s. Crazy. Or a problem that happens in third world countries. Do you realize that right now, just sitting there on your fucking iPhone that costs $1,000 or on your laptop, wherever you're listening to this or watching this, there's a kid that lives 20 minutes from you that can't even afford a fucking winter coat? That blew my mind. And I felt so guilty when I heard that. I'm like, the things that I complain about in my life, they're such bullshit. It's crazy. They're such bullshit. There's people with real problems. And obviously you see Make-A-Wish kids, you see kids with cancer. And obviously that's obviously, that's more obvious.
Shout out Make-A-Wish, by the way. I went to one of their
amazing.
events, and it was a kid, you know,
Heavy, right?
I went to their castle in Jersey. So crazy, like what they put into
Heavy.
heavy. Oof, what they do, God, they inspire me. To be honest, I'm like, wow, they're really trying to do. Like, they really want to give a kid a wish.
Make a wish in St. Jude's. They don't take any. They don't profit. They everything goes to donate. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah,
We need more of those.
yeah.
We need more Waynes. We need more St. Jude's. We need more Make a Wishes. We need more people.
Johnnies.
World's fucking. I don't know if we can handle another Johnny, but I just think that people need to realize that it comes back to you. It comes back to you, and the effect is more than the moment. Like I said, somebody else seeing it and then get inspired. Like, and a lot of times, what I think too is that people want to give. People want to do well, do good things for other people. They just don't know how. So the jobs of people like myself and you and I are to make giving the charity not only cool, because that makes it more appealing, gets more people involved, but make it easy, simplify it. So like, you don't gotta, like, it's not easy, it's hard. But I see what you go through on a weekly basis, and what you go through, like, it's a lot of legwork, and a lot of people don't have the time, money, or wherewithal to put it together. That's understandable. So if someone like you or myself goes out of the way to put everything together, orchestrate this big thing with 100 moving parts, and, you know, get everybody on board, and just make it as easy as, hey, donate now, like a button, one click, and then
so
you just
easy.
I mean, come on.
Right.
It's about making it convenient for people, because people want to help. They don't know how to help, and they don't know where to go. And a lot of times, the people don't trust the charities. You hear a lot about these charities taking big marketing budgets. I see firsthand. I know what I did. I didn't take $1. I spent all my own money for the last run. I'm gonna need some help this year, and also, you know, see what he does. And you know it's going to a good place when you can watch with your own eyes. You can take part. You can actually participate. It's not like you're just writing a check to some charity a million miles away and you hope it gets there and just say, oh, I did a good deed. No, show up. Show up on Wednesday night. Put your hand in a goddamn latex glove with a spatula, pull some macaroni out, put it on a plate for somebody, and watch that smile. That's tangible. You can feel that.
You actually just said something that I'm going to get on Instagram tomorrow about, you know, saying how much goes on behind the scenes, me organizing and stuff.
People have no idea.
When all these people have to do, like, just go click a button to help me.
Give a couple bucks.
Help the situation.
Give a couple bucks.
And I'm gonna put that in that form. Hopefully that'll trigger a lot of people tomorrow, because we are short. We're very short with the donations. Hopefully that triggers people that $50, $10, $5. It all counts. Whatever someone else you could do more. But I'm gonna put it out there like that, because it's true. A lot of people probably want to help. They're so lazy even to press that button to go get their credit card out. I know it. Listen, I'm for one of those people.
People are so lazy that when I put up a sale for my CBD, right? If I put up, you know what, sometimes I get into a mood. I'm like, you know what? Everybody that orders this week, I'm going to triple their order, right? Whatever they order, I'm going to give them triple, right? People are so lazy. Without the swipe up feature where you can go right to the thing, they won't click out of the story, go to my bio, click the website, find the product. Like, they won't click a mouse or with their thumbs 5 times. So the people are so lazy. So I just want to make it as simple as possible and organize it for when I do it. And we could, and if I can help you, steer you with my, you know, the guys for the website, to make it just like literally a donate now button somehow, where it's just donate now and then put in your information, or hopefully you have your goddamn card saved, just to streamline it for people. Because people are lazy and people just don't know how to get it going on themselves. So like that's your job. What you've succeeded in doing is making it cool. And if now we can make it super convenient for people, then there's no excuse. And if at that point you want to get involved and you have the wherewithal to get involved, you're just not as good of a person as you tell yourself you are. Because there's people that need food while you're sitting here saving money for what? Another fucking Supreme shirt? What are you saving money for? What are you hoarding that extra? You can't donate $50. Not everybody has to go on a rally and drop $1,000. It's a lot of money, and I understand that. But there's no reason why everybody can't throw 20.
Right, $20.
Yeah,
everybody got $20.
Yeah, I mean, how many turkeys short? You said 4,000.
4,000.
So we got some serious moves to make. I hope that people watching this donate.
Just all you gotta do is remember that lady crying. How important these turkeys are for people.
Yeah,
She's not the only one.
Can you imagine making a turkey making you cry? If you can't, then you better count your lucky fucking stars right now that you are that blessed in life, that there are people who would cry over something that's small to you. And so the bottom line is, get your ass to, it's PCNYTurkeyDrive.com.
www.PCNYTurkeyDrive.com.
PCNYTurkeyDrive.com. The link will be below. Click there. Donate. The Garden of Eden. It's a 501c. So if you need any more incentive than we laid out so far, it's tax deductible on top of that. You can't. What else do you need? Go make a family's Thanksgiving special. do something nice, and get it off your taxes. Would you rather give it to somebody locally who can't have a Thanksgiving dinner or Uncle Sam? It's a pretty fucking easy choice.
Facts.
But yeah, I mean, it's a hell of a conversation. It's a pretty good place to leave it off at.
Yeah,
A positive note to go out on.
Absolutely positive note.
And,
I want to say something first.
Yeah.
I want to say, first of all, I'm honored because you said this is your first podcast. You wanted to have me on. I'm honored to know you. Our friendship, it's grown again from you getting inspired by the stuff I'm doing. I'm inspired. To be honest with you, I'm inspired by watching you go full blast to your businesses. I know you came out that day when you did a little photo shoot with the Tiffany cars, and honestly, I'm like, what does Johnny know about like photo shoot guys? I deal with these guys all the time. I'm like, and I really didn't think you knew what you were doing, like with the guys, even just hiring the guys. And when I saw their work, I'm like, wow, Johnny really is on point. Like, you know, their CBD business, you had it to another level. This, that, you had, those guys are no joke. They really like hit that. I was like, God damn, these guys good. So I commend you for, like you say, you go all in. So you can't say it was any other reason but yourself to fail because you put it all in there. And then respect that, and I'm inspired by that. And I just gotta, especially the working out thing, I gotta get more inspired so I can actually lose some fucking weight. But
I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you. And
I thought that how many Wednesdays you would always come out. Like you didn't call me, you were just there. You went bags of clothes.
I didn't miss the Wednesday for quite a while. I didn't miss one for a very long time.
Definitely, you're there, and it means a lot. You know, even if I might not said it then,
but it's the least I could do, though. You know,
of course, but it just shows the person you are, and that, like you're talking about, just inspiring other people. You know, versus the people that are too lazy to press the click button. Like you're really out there.
My mom came with me. Shout out to my mom. Yeah. My mom was out there every Wednesday night. There were some weeks. There were a couple of weeks that I couldn't make it, and she went without me. She's the best person I know. So it wasn't very surprising to me. But I just hope more people, once it does pop off on Wednesday nights again, that they can come back out, help out 34th Street, 10 o'clock every Wednesday, starting hopefully soon, depending on how this madness goes on.
Let me put something in your ear, since you're the type of guy to get pumped up on stuff, and you know a lot of people as well. So my plan for next year for a rally, what I was going to do, I want to do a coast-to-coast rally, but I want to raise money to not just do this, but this is the main thing. I want to take kids from the inner city and be able to take different cities from around the country and take them into like a Great Adventures, give them the best day of their life. Kids that would never even have a chance to go to Great Adventures, like their parents, they not even getting nothing but sleeping in the bed with 3 of their brothers and sisters. 50 kids on one bus in this crazy city, 50 kids on another bus, raising money and give them the best day of their life. 10, 11, 12-year-old kids. So that's the thing I want to do next year.
That would be fucking awesome.
Big time, get really people involved.
I would love to do that. I'd love to be a part of that.
Okay, well, please, for next year, I want to do it. It's 100% I want to do it. And, listen, it'll be more than that, but that'll be their thing. Imagine being able to go to an amusement park, your parents would never take you, and you could have anything you wanted, popcorn, soda, play games, like.
That would be amazing. And if anybody who does hear this can in any way facilitate that, I mean, obviously money is always welcome. It always makes things move. But if you have any connections to any of these places, anybody in Six Flags or Great Adventures or any of this stuff, or busing companies, whatever it is, any way you can get involved in any of the things we mentioned today, reach out to me personally through Instagram, through YouTube, through my email, whatever it is. Reach out to Wayne, PCNY. And whatever you can do, it all adds up. Like, we don't need that one person to come out and give $1 million. Everybody chips in and makes it easier. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're a community. No matter how far stretched apart we are, we're all people, we're all Americans here, we're all humans. We all need to come together. And people that are actually in need, people who have a surplus, need to give to people that are short. So whatever we can do, that's the one thing I could say is my biggest takeaway from being friends with this guy is just it put the fire into my ass to not just talk about doing charities. Everyone says, they're gonna give back, and then there's very few who actually do. So be one of the people who actually do. And Wayne, thank you again for coming. First episode of Fresh Perspective. It was great. This is what it's about. Just conversation. You want to tell stories, laugh, have a good time, and just spread some positivity. Because a lot out there right now, there's a lot of shit to latch onto that's negative if you look for it. But there's plenty of positive out there too. And Wayne's out there doing positive stuff. I hope to be back on the streets doing positive stuff soon too. And thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Have a good night.
Good night.
Oh.
Great.
Fucking dope.